Chapter 3203. Auntie Sue. Ruru, how are you doing? I'm fine. Where did you sleep when you chased you out last night? Auntie Sue was worried about the girl's safety. The hotel I stayed in. Then this morning's news. Auntie Sue didn't finish her sentence. Zhang Ro hurried to explain. Auntie Sue, I didn't ask anyone to do it. I was photographed in a daze, but the person on Weibo is me. I just want to take this opportunity to clear Su Yu's name and prevent others from spreading rumors that he's gay. Huh, good. That's a good idea. Yu's mother and I both like it. Ruru, Yu's temper, I saw it. He's as smelly as a rock in a latrine pit. It doesn't match his handsome face at all. Last night, he almost beat me. Xingro couldn't help but laugh. Yu's temper used to be worse, but after he met that girl from the whole family. Forget it. Let's not talk about it. Anyway, Yu's a good boy. Ruru, work hard. There may be many difficulties, but once you conquer him, you won't be disappointed. I know. Auntie Sue, what's the saying? Oh, right. Many people on the internet say that whoever gets Su Yu will get the world. But do you think the world is so easy to get? Huh. I like your sense of humor. You must take good care of yourself over there. Don't let your parents worry about you. If you need anything, call me. If I have a meeting and don't have time, you can go to Yu's mother. I've told her to take good care of you. Okay. It's okay. Auntie Sue, I'm not abroad. It's okay. Nowadays, it's better to take your cell phone and wallet with you when you go out. Okay. You can keep in touch with you over there. After I finish my business here, I'll go over and talk to you. Okay. Auntie Sue, I'll leave you to it. Zhang Ro hung up happily and continued to criticize the netizens on Weibo. At the headquarters of Imperial Star. Lord Su, just admit it. We're so close. Don't hide it from me. Tang Chuan was drinking the yogurt that Su Yu had prepared for pudding with a straw. It was so childish. Fuck you. You won't be able to recruit my grandpa either. Our Tang family members don't look for jobs outside. Get lost. Don't make trouble for me here. I'm so busy. So you had to deal with Tang Chuan while dealing with his work. But if it's really nothing, why did the girl go to Weibo for verification? It's really strange. How the fuck would I know? Su Yu also had an innocent look on his face. But to be honest, I can't see her face clearly in the photos I took last night. But she has a good figure. What does she look like? Call her out and let us see her. Tang Chuan continued to gossip. I'll say it again. I don't know her. I don't know that crazy woman. My aunt sent her to me. Su Yu felt like he couldn't clear his name even if he jumped into the Yellow River. In the dressing room of the female stars at Imperial Star, after taking a set of photos, Ling Xian, who was resting, took a cup of water from a staff member. Hey, have you heard that President Su has a girlfriend? Some staff members gossiped in private. Ling Xuan's hand, that was holding the paper cup, moved slightly, and the water instantly wet her white dress. Miss Xian, are you okay? Her assistant immediately ran over. Chapter 3204. I'm fine. Look, your gown is soaked. I'll get you a new one. Lulu, it's okay. Tell the cameraman that we're done for today. Ling Xian waved her hand tiredly. Huh? We're done. But this is for the promotion of your new movie. No. I'm dizzy and not feeling well. I see. Okay. I'll tell them and go to the hospital with you. Wait for me. By the time the assistant came back, Ling Xian had already left. Huh? Where's Miss Xian? The assistant was dumbfounded. Miss Xian left. She doesn't look well, a staff member said. Ling Xian didn't bring her assistant. She didn't even have time to remove her makeup or change her clothes. Instead, she went downstairs to the garage to get her car. She drove home in her white Maserati sports car. After becoming famous, Ling Xian lived by herself. She bought a 200-square-foot duplex in the city center. To protect her privacy, she didn't even hire a housekeeper. When she wasn't home, her assistant and agent would hire a housekeeper to clean the house. Fortunately, Cece lived here. Her parents were traveling abroad, and she was bored at home. Rick and his subordinates, on the other hand, found a place to rent for a short period of time in the neighborhood to stay temporarily. Sis, you're back early today. Cece was happy. Yeah. Sis, what's wrong? You don't look well. Cece looked at her sister carefully and found her sister's expression was strange. I'm fine. I've been working too much lately, and can't take it, Lingxian said. Don't tire yourself out. Money is endless, but our lives are limited. Sis, Cece hugged her sister's shoulder and said coquettishly. Okay, I know. Is your company so busy these days? I'll tell Sister Mian and ask her to tell President Su not to exploit you. No, don't. It's not President Su's fault. I took so many jobs for myself. It has nothing to do with President Su. Look at how anxious you are. I just said it. You're so protective of him. It seems you still haven't gotten over him, right? Cece guessed. Niao Lingxian was upset. Sis, did you see the news? Cece suddenly remembered the news she saw on her phone this morning. Niao Lingxian didn't say anything. Sis, you have to see the truth. President Su is from a wealthy family and has never lacked women, let alone a new relationship. Even if he changes a new one every day, we can't interfere. I know. Why are you still sad when you know? Aren't you expecting too much from him? No, I just don't understand. President Su is willing to give those young models a chance, but not me. Niao Lingxian didn't sound very confident when she said this. It's not the same, sis. It's because he thinks highly of you and thinks that you're a good girl that he can't play with you. Look at those women in the news. They definitely won't marry into the Su family. What kind of person is Su Yu? How can he be so casual about his marriage? It's still better than never being close to President Su. Niao Lingxian sounded aggrieved and choked with sobs. Sis, you're wrong. I just like Su Yu. What's wrong with that? Niao Lingxian suddenly refuted her sister in agitation. It was the first time Cece had seen her usually obedient sister so agitated. Chapter 32:05. I'm sorry, Cece. I didn't mean to yell at you. I know, sis. We grew up together. I know you well. Sigh. I'm just a bit confused. I know, sis. Let's not think about it. I'll go shopping with you. You're so rich, but you don't spend much. I want to buy new clothes, and you want to buy them for my baby. Okay. I'll buy them for you. And for Luke. Cece smiled. That's not a good idea. Isn't your boyfriend very rich? Don't trick me. You're my sister. Of course I'll trick you. Okay. Let's go. Let's go shopping. Then the two sisters went out. In fact, Cece didn't want her sister to buy things for her. She just wanted to distract her sister. Otherwise, Su Yu's new relationship would be a big blow to her sister. Tang Chuan pestered Su Yu the whole morning, but didn't get anything out of him. It wasn't that Su Yu didn't want to tell him, but he really didn't know anything. He only remembered that her name was Ro and that she was introduced to him by his aunt. Su Yu even forgot what the girl looked like. At noon, Qin Shu's driver and bodyguard arrived with Pudding. Pudding went to South Side with Huamin. Whoa, Pudding is here to criticize us. Tang Chuan gloated. Do you think Pudding is as nosy as you? Su Yu glared at Tang Chuan. Humph. Pudding is my brother-in-law and sister-in-laws. In the future, she'll be the daughter-in-law of the Wei family. Okay, get the fuck out of here. Don't hurt my feelings. Su Yu was annoyed at Tang Chuan. When Pudding walked in, Tang Chuan didn't forget to tease her. Pudding, interrogate your handsome Su. Huh. Pudding didn't say anything and walked up to Su Yu. President Su, can we go for lunch now? Oh, little brat, let's go. What do you want to eat? Teppanyaki, Pudding said. No problem. Teppanyaki it is. Then, Su Yu stood up and glanced at Tang Chuan. Do you want to come with us? No, I'm going with Ning Ning to a farmhouse to eat salted fish pancakes. All right, then you guys go and eat your big fish. We're leaving. Okay, let's go downstairs together. Then, the three of them went downstairs together. Tang Chuan drove off alone, and Pudding followed Su Yu to a famous teppanyaki restaurant in the city. The whole place was decorated in Japanese style, and it was very classy. In the private room, Su Yu poured a glass of water for Pudding. Do you want to ask about that too? No. Io, that's not like you. Su Yu chuckled. I'm not as nosy as Little Bean. Very good. Our Pudding is the most sensible. Handsome Su, is the company done with the transfer of ownership? It's done. I've stored the paperwork in our company. If you want it, I'll have someone bring it to you now. No, I'll leave it with you. You're not going to tell your daddy and mommy. They'll know when the time is right. What do you want to do with such a big company? Have you thought about it yet? With so many people eating, you can't just leave it idle, right? Su Yu asked. I've thought about it. I want to invest in film and television while trading stocks. Io, you want to invest in film and television? Suyu's interest was piqued. Yeah, I want to work with your company. There's a new actress in your company. She's not very pretty, but her acting skills are off the charts. I've been following her for a long time and watched 2 of her web dramas. I saw that she recently starred in a comedy with a senior from the comedy world. They're looking for investors. You're interested? Suyu was surprised. Pudding was the source of the information. Chapter 3206. Yeah, I'm very interested. I've looked at it. There's very little investment, and the actors aren't very famous. So, 30 million is enough for post-production. Right now, they're raising funds. I think it's a good idea for us to split 50 to 50. What do you think? 15 million each. That's not a lot. But Pudding, have you thought about it? Newcomers can't guarantee box office sales. Not to mention her, even popular actresses like Niel Lingxian can't do well. So it's very risky. That's how business works. If I'm afraid of losing money, I'll just put it in the bank and earn interest. Before Suyu could speak, Pudding continued, but I'm afraid it won't be enough to keep up with inflation. You're so mischievous. Every word you say is reasonable. So what do you think? Pudding asked Suyu in all seriousness. I still think 15 million is too much for your first film investment. How about this? I'll take 25 million and you take 5 million. If we make money, we'll split it 50 to 50. No, we're talking about business. I don't want handsome Sue to take care of me. After all, I'll have to face this alone in the future. Handsome Sue, you can't take care of me for the rest of my life, right? Pudding's words always shocked Suyu and were very persuasive. Okay, you win. Yay. Then it's settled. I'll transfer the money from my company's account to your company's account. Then you can do the rest. I only have one request. What is it? Suyu thought the girl wanted to make sure she made money by asking Suyu to help her arrange the film's ratings or promote it. But to his surprise, she didn't. Little Bean and I want to make cameos. Huh? You want to make cameos? Suyu was even more surprised. Yeah, I looked at the script. There's a scene where a pair of children are kidnapped by human traffickers. The female lead saves the children and ends up with a police officer who solves the case. Little Bean and I want to play the role of the kidnapped children. But your mommy won't agree. Suyu had heard from Huamin that she didn't want her child to show his face in public, let alone enter the entertainment industry. I have my ways to convince mommy and daddy about this matter. You just need to promise me. After all, Suyu was the big boss of Imperial Star, so it wouldn't be difficult for him to do such a small thing. Then, well, but don't make your mother angry. She's still pregnant. Suyu warned. Handsome Sue, you're so biased. You even favor mommy when you talk to me, no. Suyu was a little embarrassed. Daddy will be jealous if he knows. Hurry up and restrain yourself. Ugh, I'm really not. I'm just worried that your mommy is pregnant. Everyone, try not to make her angry. Pregnant women are the most important. Suyu tried to explain. All right, you don't have to say anymore. I understand you. What do you know? You little brat. Suyu smiled helplessly. Then, the waiters brought out the dishes one after another. They seemed to be having a good time. Pudding was very low-key, just like Chin Chu. She was so low-key that she rarely posted on her WeChat moments. But Little Bean was different. She would post it even if she wanted to eat ice cream. When they were almost done eating, Pudding suddenly asked, "Who was the girl who slept over at your house last night? You said you wouldn't ask. You couldn't help it, right?" So you smiled faintly. "No, I'm just curious. What kind of woman can sleep over at your house for one night?" "She didn't sleep over there for one night. I threw her out in the middle of the night." "Okay." Suyu hurriedly explained. "So, did you order her?" Pudding asked in all seriousness. Suyu almost vomited blood when he heard this. Chapter 3207. You little brat. What kind of nonsense are you thinking in your head? Handsome Sue, you don't have to be embarrassed. You're a normal man and have needs. But be careful when you order takeout. Suyu was speechless. Pudding was a mischievous child, and Suyu didn't know what to say. Forget it. You guys won't understand me even if I tell you. Then it's settled. Okay, President Sheen. Happy working with you. Suyu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. While Pudding and Suyu were eating teppanyaki, Huamin and Little Bean were busy at Southside. Vice Director, you're back. Vice Director, good afternoon. I haven't seen you in a long time. Vice Director, the babies are 4 or 5 months old, right? Is this your bow or air bow? They're so cute. After Huamin returned, the doctors and nurses at Southside all came over to greet the mother and daughter. Being surrounded like an animal, Little Bean was also very unhappy. They didn't know the real situation and thought that Huamin was on leave because of her pregnancy. After all, the first 3 months were a sensitive period. I haven't been back in a long time. How's everyone? Huamin smiled. We all miss you, Vice Director. We're not used to your absence. President Wu came back a few times, but he didn't feel as good as when you were here. Go back to your work. I'll go back to my office to get some files. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, Vice Director. Let me know if you need anything. Only then did the crowd disperse. Huamin held Little Bean's hand and walked upstairs. Mommy, they all seem to respect you. Yeah, do you know why? Huamin asked. Because you're the leader. Not entirely. Then they think highly of you because your family is rich, Little Bean said. That's not right. Then, it's because they think that Mommy is popular and good-looking. It has nothing to do with looks. Your mommy is not Lin Qingxia. Why would she use her looks to please others? I don't know. Little Bean pouted. Actually, they all respect Mommy because Mommy has professional ethics and prioritizes saving people. Oh, I see. Little Bean seemed to understand. Huamin's contributions to the Southern District over the past few years were obvious to all. Many of the patients who were sent to the hospital for emergency treatment were saved because of Huamin's prompt decision. Once, after operating on a man who had been in a car accident, the man recovered and ran away without paying. In the end, Huamin was the only one who paid for it. Everyone felt bad and wanted to share the burden. However, Huamin said that he was the leader and had the greatest responsibility. These little things are the reason why everyone respected him. Little Bean, remember Mommy's words. You don't have to be a saint or a noble person in your life. You don't have to have a good reputation like Lei Feng. You don't have to be a good person, but you must have a kind person. Mommy, I know, isn't the first line of the 3-character classic that says that people are inherently good? Little Bean reacted quickly and deduced many things. Yes, that's right. Mommy doesn't ask you and your sister to grow up to be successful. I don't ask you to contribute to society or have such great thoughts and self-awareness. I just want you two to be good people and live a peaceful life. Then, you can do things honestly and don't take anyone seriously. Wow, that sounds so profound. Although I don't really understand, Mommy is right. I will listen to Mommy. Little Bean nodded obediently. Chief, you back to work so soon? Qinjie was surprised and happy to see Huamin at the office door. Chapter 3208. No, I came back for a prenatal checkup. Huamin smiled. Oh, look at me. I forgot about your prenatal checkup. I'll go arrange it now. Okay. Huamin nodded and led Little Bean inside. Little Bean, do you want to eat something? No, Annie. Mommy and I just ate at a pizza place, Little Bean said sensibly. Then I'll get you a glass of water. Okay. Thank you, Annie. Huamian was glad that Little Bean was polite when she was outside. After entering, Little Bean sat on the sofa and played with her phone. Huamin sat in his office and looked at the hospital's recent data on the computer. After a while, Qinjie came back. Chief, the OB-GYN department said we can go now. Okay. Chief, do you want to see if it's a boy or a girl? Qinjie smiled mysteriously. That's not a good idea. Huamin knew that the hospital had strict rules that forbade them from looking at a girl's gender. He was afraid that some people would prefer boys over girls and abort the baby if they found out it was a girl. So many innocent lives were lost before they were born. It's okay. We're just looking at the gender. No matter if it's a boy or a girl, we won't abort it. It's not against the rules. Qinjie whispered. At this moment, Huamin was really tempted. She nodded and went to the OB-GYN department with Qinjie and Little Bean. They started a urine test, blood test, and blood pressure test. Finally, it did an ultrasound. Huamin lay down carefully on the examination bed. Vice Director, it's a little cold. Bear with it, the female doctor politely reminded her. It's okay. You do it. The female doctor carefully lifted her skirt and rubbed the cold ointment on her belly. Then he used the instrument to rub her belly. That feeling was very magical. Perhaps the little guy was scared, for it gurgled in Huamion's stomach like a small fish swimming for a while. This little guy is probably scared. The female doctor laughed. Yeah, he's probably a little confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Huamian laughed as he lay on the bed. Auntie, what's Mommy doing? Not far away. Little Bean was watching her mommy's prenatal checkup through the glass with a confused look on her face. Mommy is giving the baby a checkup. Is it okay now? She's not even born yet. Little Bean was puzzled. You can see her health condition even when she's in the stomach? Wow, that's amazing. I want to be a doctor when I grow up, Little Bean said seriously. She still remembered the last time her grandfather came to her house and taught her a lot of fun activities. At that time, Grandpa praised her and said that she had the talent to be a doctor. The more she thought about it, the more she felt that being a doctor was a noble profession, especially after saving many patients. When he saw the patients and their families reunite, he would feel a sense of accomplishment, right? When he entered his mother's office, he saw that there were many silk banners inside. They must have been sent by the patients, because with his mother's personality, she would never hire someone to write these things. Auntie, my mommy, she's very good at medicine, right? Of course. Your mommy is very famous at Southside. Many patients who don't belong to our department heard about her past and asked her to perform surgery on them. Many family members even sent her a lot of things. Some even gave her gold bars, but she didn't accept them. That's for sure. Who would want gold bars? Our family is very rich, okay? Little Beans said arrogantly. Ha, that's not the point. The point is that our director is very honest. Okay? Yeah, my mommy said that a gentleman loves money and should take it in a proper way. You can't take money that doesn't belong to you, Little Bean said. On the other side, the female doctor looked at Huamin meaningfully and smiled. Deputy Director, I saw the baby's gender. Chapter 3209. To be honest, Huamin, who had been in a good mood, became nervous after hearing the news. Is it a boy or a girl? Through the glass, she didn't know what the female doctor said to Huamin. When they came out, Chan Jie immediately walked up and asked, Chief, is it a boy or a girl? Guess. Huamin smiled mysteriously. After Huamian's prenatal checkup, she left with Little Bean after finding that everything was fine. Mommy, are we going home now? No. Let's go to the company and find Daddy, okay? Okay. I'm going home for a nap. Can you ask Pudding to come over? I just called her, and she's with Handsome Sue. They just finished lunch. Okay. Ask them to bring Pudding over. Huamin seemed to be in a good mood. After leaving the hospital, he got into the Mercedes-Benz RV. Ever since she got pregnant, Qin Shu had been against her driving. Once, Huamin couldn't take it anymore and said to Qin Shu, Honey, I can drive. I'm not an idiot. No, I'm afraid other idiots will disturb you. Huamian didn't know what to say to that. Later, she completely gave up the idea of driving. No matter where she went, bodyguards and chauffeurs would accompany her. In a secret prison in Sea City, Huasiqian was locked up here alone. He ate alone. Even when he came out to sunbathe, he was still alone. He gradually understood that this was a special place of confinement that had been specially created for him. Sir, report. What's the matter? A prison guard walked over with a baton and glanced at Huasiqian, who was in a prison uniform with handcuffs and ankles. I want to make a phone call. No. Even prisoners on death row have the right to call home. Why can't I call home? This is the arrangement of the higher-ups. I don't know. Then tell your superiors that I want to make a call. Who is your superior? Is it Gaoran? Huasiqian seemed to have guessed as well. Don't waste your time. Just stay here and reform yourself. The prison guard did not seem to want to deal with Huasiqian. This was because the higher-ups had already told him to do so when he was transferred here. This was a criminal with a special identity. Try not to have any contact with him, talk to him less, and do not agree to any of his requests. Looks like you're going to ignore whatever I say. Huasiqian smiled. Those who didn't know him would think that he was a good-tempered person. The prison guard ignored him and walked straight back. Huasiqian suddenly crouched on the ground and pulled out a small, inconspicuous stick from the grass. This thing was not enough to make him commit suicide. However, he took the small wooden stick and stuck it into his left ear. Following that, a blood-curdling scream could be heard from behind. When the prison guard heard the scream, he immediately ran over. When he saw Huasiqian's left ear bleeding profusely, he was scared out of his wits. Calling the central control room. Calling the central control room. This is the 29th precinct. Prisoner 001 is committing self-harm. Please send an ambulance immediately. GK headquarters, a young lady. Wow, long time no see. Assistant Yang was extremely excited to see Huamin. After Assistant Yang's accident, he rested at home for a few months. Then, many things happened one after another. When Assistant Yang came back, Huamin had been kidnapped by Huasiqian for a long time. Where's my husband? President Qin is in a meeting with the higher-ups. I'll call him for you. No, let him do it. Little Bean and I will sit in the lounge for a bit. We'll be there soon. Hello, Uncle Yang. Little Bean greeted. As soon as Huamin sat down, his phone rang. Huamin, come to the first hospital right now. It was Gao Ran's voice. What's wrong? Huasiqian committed self-harm. He threatened that he won't undergo surgery until he sees you. Gao Ran seemed to be in deep trouble. Huamin's heart sank when he heard this. Chapter 32:10. When did this happen? Just now. Where was he hurt? His eardrum was pierced by something like a tree branch. Gao Ran said. Hearing this, Huamian gasped. But I don't know much about the eardrum. I can't do the surgery. Huamin panicked. I didn't ask you to do the surgery. That pervert wants to see you. If you don't come, he'll resist the surgery and refuse to cooperate. Sigh. You know, Huasiqian's identity is sensitive. Qin Shu and I can only imprison him temporarily. We can't kill him, but we can't let the higher-ups know. This is complicated. Gao Ran knew from the beginning that taking over Huasiqian, this hot potato, wouldn't be easy. But he had been friends with Qin Shu for many years. If he didn't help, who else could? Now that something had happened, he was worried. He couldn't let Huasiqian die. The first hospital, right? I'll be there right away. Okay, we'll wait for you here. Be quick, Huamin. I know. After hanging up, Huamin called Yang. A young lady. Yang, take care of Little Bean. When President Qin comes out, give a child to him. I have something urgent to deal with. I'll pick her up later. Okay, I'll call a cab for you. No, I brought a driver and bodyguard. Little Bean. Huamin squatted down and patted Little Bean's head. I know. Mommy, go to your work. I'll listen to Uncle Yang. I'll wait for Daddy. Okay, Mommy will pick you up later. Be a good girl. Okay. Little Bean knew what was important. Seeing her mommy in a hurry, she nodded obediently. 15 minutes after Huamin left, Qin Shu came out of a meeting. When he saw Little Bean playing games at the door, his eyes softened. Little Bean, why are you here? Daddy, you're out? Little Bean immediately put down her phone and was carried by Qin Shu. President Qin, a young lady just came. Where's my wife? Qin Shu looked around and didn't see Huamin. Later, when she saw that you were in a meeting, she said that she would wait outside. However, she received a call and seemed to have something urgent, so she left. She asked me to look after Little Bean and said that when you came out, she would hand Little Bean over to you and come back later. Oh, okay. With that, Qin Shu carried Little Bean all the way to his office. President Qin, regarding the proposal just now, I have 2 more points to add. The director of the marketing department hurriedly caught up with Qin Shu. Let's talk about it later, Qin Shu said faintly. The marketing director was confused. Don't you see that Little Bean is here? Hurry up and leave. We'll talk about it when the president is free. Yang waved his hand and sent them away. With Little Bean in his arms, he walked into the spacious office. Wow, Daddy's office is the best. It's big, beautiful, and cool. It's nothing like Mommy's small warehouse. Little Bean was so happy to have the air conditioner on a hot summer day. What's wrong with your mommy's office? Qin Shu teased her. It's small. I don't understand. Mommy is the vice director of Southside. With so many patients, she should be very rich. Why does she have to have such a small office? It's because your mommy loves that office and doesn't want to move out. Chin Shu was helpless about his wife's temper. If I were mommy, I would definitely have an entire floor for my office. The hundreds of square meters would all belong to me. Then I think you're not going to work. You're going to enjoy life. Chin Shu laughed. Right, Daddy, give me 10,000 yuan. Little Bean reached out her hand. Chin Shu was speechless. Chapter 32:11. Why do you want so much? Tell Daddy what you want to buy. Although Chin Shu loved his daughter, he wasn't crazy enough. Little Bean was so young. Why would she want 10,000 yuan? I don't want to buy anything. I just want 10,000 yuan. You're so willful. Chin Shu laughed. I'm not being willful. I have information to sell to you. It's very important. 10,000 yuan is too little for me. If I want 100,000 yuan, Daddy will give it to me. But I don't want that much. After all, it's useless to have too much money, Little Bean said proudly. Little girl, you're so confident. What information do you have? Chin Shu looked at the mysterious Little Bean and thought she was cute. I told you to give me the money. Give me the money and I'll tell you. Little Bean walked up to her daddy and stretched out her hand again. You're good at fighting. I can't give you cash. You're so small and can't carry so much money. I'll transfer the money to your WeChat account. Okay? Chin Shu picked up Little Bean and put her on his lap. Okay, but you have to transfer more money to me. After all, there's a fee for withdrawing money from WeChat. You, smart little brat. Okay. Daddy will make you 15,000 yuan. Chin Shu was also generous. Daddy, give me 15,050 yuan. Hee hee. Little Bean took the opportunity to blackmail him. You really don't want to be taken advantage of. Chin Shu saw through his daughter's thoughts. Without saying anything, he took out his cell phone and transferred the money to Little Bean. Little Bean and Pudding each had their own WeChat account. Pudding was low-key and her name was Big Pudding. Little Bean's WeChat name was hard to remember. Everyone's favorite Little Bean, the invincible beauty. But because it was too long, WeChat didn't allow it. In the end, she reluctantly removed many words and changed it to Little Bean. After taking the money, Little Bean happily put her arms around Chin Shu's neck and said mysteriously, Daddy, Mommy and I went to Southside for a checkup today. I feel like I've been cheated of 15,000 yuan by you. Chin Shu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He thought to himself, isn't it just a prenatal checkup? Is there a need to be cheated of 15,000 yuan by his younger daughter? Comrade Old Chin, can you calm down a little? I'm not done yet. Little Bean rolled her eyes at her daddy, clearly displeased. Little Comrade Chin, please continue. Chin Shu pinched the tip of Little Bean's nose lovingly and decided to continue listening. I was with her during the prenatal checkup. I heard from Annie Jia that the equipment at Southside is very advanced and can check the gender of the baby in mommy's stomach. Oh, that's interesting. So, is the baby in your mommy's belly a boy or a girl? Chin Shu finally realized what his daughter wanted to say. So it was about the gender of the second child. In that case, Little Bean's asking price of 10,000 was indeed not a lot. I don't know. During the checkup, Annie Jia and I were waiting outside. Mommy went in alone and didn't say anything when she came out. So, are you playing with your daddy on purpose? Chin Shu's mood fluctuated as if he was on a roller coaster. I'm not playing with you. I'm not done yet. Comrade Old Chin, you need to change your impatient temper. Little Bean patted Chin Shu's shoulder meaningfully. Okay, Comrade Little Chin, please continue. Chin Shu was about to cry because of his daughter's antics. It was the first time in his life that someone called him impatient. Little Bean, can you be any more naughty? Chapter 32:12. Although Mommy didn't say and Auntie Jia didn't ask in front of me, I guess from Mommy's actions, what did your mommy do? Chin Shu asked with a smile. We were supposed to go home after the checkup, but Mommy suddenly said she wanted to come to the company to see Daddy. Isn't she excited? Little Bean's analysis was very reasonable. Very good. Continue to analyze, Comrade Chin. So I'm sure Mommy knows the baby's gender. Since she came to see Daddy so excitedly, it must be a little brother. How can you be so sure? What if it's a little sister? That's impossible. Although you all say that boys and girls are the same, we already have me and my sister. Our family doesn't lack girls. So, if mommy really is pregnant with a little brother, everyone will be happy. Grandpa and Grandma also secretly talked to my sister behind my back. They said that if this baby is a boy, our family will have a successor. Hearing Little Bean's words, Chin Chu couldn't laugh anymore. To be honest, it was quite sad for such a young child to know these things. Chin Chu kissed Little Bean's forehead lovingly. Little Bean, Daddy and Mommy love you and your sister very much. No matter if Mommy gives birth to a little brother or a little sister, Daddy will love you and your sister just as much as before. Of course I know that. They all say that daughters are their father's lovers in their previous lives. So, Comrade Chin, you don't have to rush to explain. I believe you won't abandon your two lovers in your previous life. Little Bean comforted Chin Chu. Although this sentence was funny, Chin Chu was touched by his daughter's words. Although Little Bean wasn't as sensible as Pudding, she was still a chatterbox and a foodie. However, when he really got serious, it was really hard to resist. Fortunately, Mr. Chin had strong willpower. Otherwise, he would have burst into tears after just a few sentences. Yes, we'll always be a family. Daddy and Mommy love each and every one of you the same, just as much. Okay, Comrade Chin, don't be sentimental. I think it's a good thing for Mommy to give birth to a little brother. Think about it. Who will inherit such a big family business? No matter how powerful my sister is in the future, she's still a woman. When she gets married, will our family's money be given to other families? At that time, wouldn't Uncle Wei's family have more money than our family? So, when Mommy gives birth to a little brother, our family will take care of our company. If my sister and I get bullied, our family will protect us. When you and Mommy are old Mommy, if we can't take care of you, we'll have a little brother to share. So, I think it's a good thing that we have a little brothers of our family. Little zestes of tisest, tieses, tiovsavovs. Little Bean, you're right. Very good. Daddy is proud of you. T2, T, T2, A2. Two, didn't you eat with Mommy already? Tart's a snack, not a staple. Fine. In the end, Chin Chu was completely defeated by his daughter. By the way, don't tell Mommy about this. She doesn't like it when I eat sweet things, Little Bean said guiltily. Speaking of Huamin, Chin Chu suddenly remembered what Huamin had been busy with. He picked up the phone and called Huamin. Chapter 32:13. The number you have dialed is temporarily unavailable. A robotic female voice sounded from the other end of the line. Chin Chu panicked, afraid that something might happen to his pregnant wife. Then, Chin Chu called Hua Min's chauffeur. President Chin, where's my wife? She asked us to take her to the first hospital. We're waiting for her at the entrance. She went in. The first hospital. Chin Chu frowned slightly, as if he didn't understand why Hua Mian wanted to go to the first hospital. Yes. How long has she been in there? About 10 minutes. But don't worry, President Chin, the bodyguards went in with her. She'll be fine. Okay, I got it. Hearing that the bodyguards went in with her, Chin Chu was relieved. Gao Ran was busy saving Hua Xiqian at the first hospital, so he forgot to call Chin Chu. In the OR, Huamin walked in sterile scrubs, supported by a nurse. Deputy Director, slow down. The floor is slippery. I'm fine. In the OR, aside from the doctors and nurses, Gao Ran's subordinates were also there, afraid that Hua Xiqian would play tricks on them. Huamin walked over slowly and saw Hua Xiqian, who had changed but refused to do the surgery. You're finally here. Seeing Huamin, Hua Xiqian revealed a rare childlike smile. What are you doing? Hua Mian was angry and conflicted. She didn't know what to feel. I want to see you. I know. You won't make that deal with me because you care about Chin Chu and love him. So, to make him happy, you won't come to see me once a month. I know it all. Seeing Huamin remain silent for so long, Hua Xiqian guessed that Huamin would not accept his previous proposal. Yeah, so what? Chin Chu is my husband. Am I wrong to love him? Of course I care about my husband's feelings. Hua Xiqian, who do you think you are? Why do you have to make sarcastic remarks? You're a nobody to me. Why should I make you happy? Huamin was rarely so angry. Hua Xiqian drove her crazy every time. I don't blame you, Mian. No matter what you did to me, I've never blamed you. What right do you have to blame me? All these years, you've been hurting me and my family. Huamin retorted angrily. Vice Director, this patient needs surgery immediately. We can't delay it any longer, the doctor reminded Huamin. Huamin suppressed his anger. Sometimes, he selfishly thought that it would be better to just let Huasiqian die, to prevent future trouble. However, he knew that Qin Chu kept him alive because he still needed him. Huamin took a deep breath and walked over, looking at him coldly. I'm here. Can you start the surgery now? Mian, can you stay here with me and not leave? You? Huasiqian, don't cross the line. Huamin frowned. That's all I ask. I know. After the surgery, I'll be locked up again. You still won't come to see me. You have the surgery first. We'll talk about other things later. Don't go. That's all I ask of you. Mian, please. Huasiqian's ear was bleeding more and more. Huamin felt nauseous. She turned her head and began retching. Maybe it was because she was pregnant, but she couldn't watch this scene anymore. Vice Director, are you okay? Do you want to rest outside? The nurse immediately handed her a glass of water. Chapter 32:14. No need. Huamin waved his hand with difficulty. Although he really didn't want to stay here, he still hoped that Huasiqian could finish the surgery safely. Seeing that Huamin had no intention of leaving, Huasiqian was finally willing to accept the doctor's surgery. The surgery was relatively fast, and it was done in 2 hours. There wasn't a lot of anesthesia, so Huasiqian was still conscious. Before leaving the operating room, he didn't forget to say to Huamin, Mian, it's good to have you by my side. Huamin didn't know what to say to him. Huasiqian was abnormal to begin with, and his personality was twisted, whether it was the current him or after he transformed into Jack. No one would have a split personality for no reason. He must have experienced some unhappy childhood or memories. Then, he was forced to split into another personality in his body. And the contrast was huge. It was like some people who stuttered and had a weak personality, but after the split, they might become psychopathic killers. There are also people who usually like to laugh and joke, but after the split, they might become cold-blooded maniacs. Huasiqian wouldn't split into Jack for no reason. Huamin began to vaguely feel that, other than the experience of being abused by his adoptive mother when he was young, he must have had a very bad experience when he studied abroad in Germany. After Huasiqian was pushed away, Huamin was helped out by someone. Gao Ran was still waiting for him at the door. How is it, Huamin? How's the surgery? It's not a big deal, and his life is not in danger. It's just that his injured ear might lose its hearing. You guys have to be careful in the future. This time it was our negligence. We didn't expect that a small wooden stick on the lawn outside would be a tool for him to attack himself. But speaking of which, this Huasiqian really doesn't care about his life. The things he does are too extreme. He's always been such an extreme person. Anyway, just be careful in the future. MHM will be careful. Does my husband know about this? Oh no, I forgot that I had been making arrangements for this Huasiqian incident. It's fine, I'll talk to him later. I'm going to GK headquarters anyway. All right, you can talk to him. I'll go back to the bureau first. There are a lot of things to do here. I'll call him tonight. All right. Just like that, Huamin and Gao Ran parted ways at the first hospital, and the bodyguard and driver took her back to GK. Meanwhile, Suyu asked him to take Pudding home first. In his office, he logged into Weibo and sent Zheng Ro a private message. Suyu, come out? Zheng Ro, speak. Suyu, even if you want to be famous, you don't have to do this, do you? Suyu's female lead? Are you shameless? Zheng Ro, my face is mine. What does it have to do with you? What? I don't want it, but you want it? Suyu, Zheng Ro, you're an interesting person. You're in the entertainment industry and have seen a lot of sensationalized women. If you don't like it, you can sue me. Ask your public relations team to send me a lawyer's letter. You're a president after all. What's the point of sending me a private message? Suyu, get the hell out of this city. If you keep making trouble, I won't go easy on you, even if you were introduced by my aunt. Zheng Ro, whoa, do you think you can scare me? You don't like it. Come and have sex with me if you dare. Suyu, Zheng Rou's unexpected response always made Suyu angry. He didn't understand how there could be such an outrageous woman in the world. Chapter 32:15. Suyu, what do you want? Tell me. Zheng Rou, you'll give me whatever I want. Suyu, name a price. You want money, right? Then take the money and get out. Suyu thought that since his aunt had taken a fancy to her, she couldn't be a scoundrel. She must have some connections in her family. She must be a girl who wanted to climb up the social ladder and become a phoenix. That was easy. He could just give her money and get out. Zheng Rou, you're wrong, President Su. I do have a motive and a purpose, but it's not money. Money is good, but my family doesn't lack it. I like you. You want to get rid of me? Sure. Take off your clothes and have sex with me. They'll take my luggage and get out. Suyu, how can a woman be so shameless? How can a woman say such things? Zheng Rou, haha. You seem to have cancer of the straight man. What's wrong? Women can make decisions in our society. What's wrong? Only men can have mistresses, but women can't have gigolos. You're too narrow-minded. Suyu, don't talk nonsense with me. Tell me your conditions. Zheng Rou, I'll tell you. Have sex with me? Don't worry. If you don't want to be a bad influence at home, we can do it in a hotel. It's just sex. It's not hard, right? Suyu, then we have nothing else to say. Wait and see, damned woman. You'll see. Suyu was infuriated. The woman kept saying that she wanted to have sex with him and had sex with him, but Suyu didn't know how to do it. In a fury, he logged out of Weibo. On the other side of the computer, Zheng Rou couldn't stop laughing. Ha ha ha. Suyu is a shy little man. Ha, interesting. I think it's getting more and more fun. While eating potato chips, she replied to those boring netizens' insults. Suddenly, she felt how boring her life was in the first 2 decades of her life. Now, her life was so fulfilling. It seemed that she should have listened to Annie Su and come to Sea City earlier. Suyu was fun. The people here were fun. Everyone was fun. When Huamin returned to GK, Qin Shu was dealing with official business and assigning tasks to several executives. Little Bean was probably tired from playing and fell asleep on the sofa. She was still wearing the air conditioner blanket that Qin Shu had given her, and she was still holding tightly onto a bag of potato chips. There was yogurt, soft drinks, and even desserts on the table. It was obvious how much Mr. Qin spoiled his youngest daughter. Seeing Huamin walk in, all of the higher-ups stood up and warmly called out, "Madam." There were even a few people who couldn't change the way they addressed him and shouted, "President Hua, everyone, take a seat. You can continue. Don't worry about me." Huamin smiled. Then, she walked to the coffee table and tidied up the child's leftovers. "A young lady, I'll take care of these. You're pregnant, so there's no need for you." Little Yang rushed over to clean up. He didn't know if Little Bean still wanted to eat, so he didn't dare to touch her. "It's okay. I'm pregnant, not sick. I'm not that pretentious," Huamin said. "That's all for now. Call me if you need anything," Qin Shu said. "Okay, President Qin. We'll leave now." Qin Shu nodded. Then, the executive said goodbye to Huamin and left the office. Huamin turned around and looked at Qin Shu. He was about to scold him. "Honey, look at you. How could you let the child eat these snacks?" "How did I?" Before Huamin could finish, Qin Shu hugged him and kissed him fiercely. I need to go to the bathroom." Embarrassed, Little Yang quickly found an excuse and ran away. Chapter 32:16. Honey, Huamin wanted to say something, but Qin Shu didn't give her a chance. He kissed her without a word. Did he want to go to heaven? After a long time, when Huamin felt like she couldn't breathe, Qin Shu reluctantly let go of her. But he didn't let go and continued to hug her tightly. "Honey, what's going on? Did you drink?" Huamin was confused. Qin Shu, "Honey, did you have a nightmare after your afternoon nap?" "Ha!" Huamin's imagination was very rich. Qin Shu, "Oh, I know. Honey, you must have done something wrong to me. You're afraid that I'll blame you, so you gave me a sweet first. That must be it. Tell me, did you buy the snacks for the kids? Did you forget what I told you? Kids shouldn't eat those things, especially those sweet drinks. They're full of coloring and have high immunity." Huamin was about to ramble on, but Qin Chu suddenly changed his mind. However, Mr. Qin suddenly changed the topic. Honey, our second child is a boy, right? Where did you hear that? Answer me first. Qin Chu looked into his wife's eyes with a serious expression. I know it's not good to do such a thing. As the head of the hospital, how can I secretly look at the gender? But I just wanted to satisfy my curiosity. After all, they're both our children. Answer me. Qin Chu was speechless when he saw Huamin beat around the bush without getting to the point. Yes. Finally, Huamin couldn't take it anymore and said 2 words. Then, Qin Chu's eyes became gentle. He reached out and gently stroked Huamin's delicate face. So, we're really going to have a son and a daughter this time, right? Qin Chu couldn't believe it. Don't get your hopes up. If there's a mistake and the tables turn, it might be a daughter. Huamin didn't dare to say too much. After all, the baby was still young. I know, it's okay. It's okay, really, as long as she's here. Qin Chu knew that Huamin was just comforting him. Southside was such a good hospital. If there was a gender test, there shouldn't be a mistake. So, Huamin's second child was really his son. In fact, Qin Chu didn't have any concept of gender. As long as it was child, they were his treasures. But when she thought that there would be a young man to inherit the huge family business in the future, she was filled with pride. It was said that a son and a daughter would make a good family. Qin Chu already had 2 daughters. Wouldn't it be great if he had a son this time? Qin Chu never thought that he would have such a happy life one day. So he was a little excited, a little different from his usual self. He carried Huamin horizontally and walked to the glass window. Wow, what are you doing? Put me down. It's not good to be seen. This is the office. Honey, you've worked hard. You gave birth to Pudding and Little Bean for me, and now you have to face our little son. What if it's not a son? Anything is fine. As long as it's your child, I'll be happy even if you give birth to 10 daughters. Qin Chu lowered his head and kissed Huamin's forehead lovingly. Are you crazy? I'm not a sow. I don't want to give birth to 10 daughters. After this one, I won't give birth anymore. Huamin protested. Okay, I'll listen to you. By the way, honey, I have something, I need to confess to you. Suddenly thinking of Hua Xiqian, Huamin felt a little guilty. Chapter 32:17. Tell me, promise me that you won't be angry, and I'll tell you. This trick again. Qin Chu smiled helplessly. Promise me, or I won't tell you. Huamin's trick of acting first and reporting later had always worked on Qin Chu. Okay, I won't be angry. Don't scold me. When did I scold you? Qin Chu raised his eyebrows. Don't ignore me. I won't. Don't be preoccupied. Don't misunderstand me. And communicate with me immediately if you have any problems. Okay, then I'll tell you. Huamin didn't dare to look into Qin Chu's eyes. Tell me, I went to the first hospital this afternoon. I heard from the driver. Hua Xiqian had surgery there. What happened to him? Qin Chu wasn't surprised to hear about Hua Xiqian's surgery. It seemed that in his mind, Hua Xiqian would never do anything unexpected. He hurt himself in prison. He pierced his eardrum with a twig. Oh, what happened after that? Qin Chu was still calm. After that, Gao Rant's people sent him to the hospital, but he refused to undergo surgery. He said that unless I did it. Huamin was so guilty that his voice became softer. He had no confidence at all. So you went to hospital because of this? I stayed in the surgery until it was over, Huamin said honestly. How is he now? He's out of danger, but his hearing might be affected in the future. Qin Chu nodded and didn't say more. Honey, are you angry? Why would I be angry? Because I meddled in his business. He's our enemy, and I shouldn't have been soft-hearted. I know. Huamin confessed. No, you're not wrong. He really shouldn't die now. I know he's done a lot of things to hurt our family, especially you. His perverted obsession with me must be a thorn in your heart. I know I shouldn't have gone, but Hua Xiqian, I'm feeling very conflicted. Although he's guilty of a lot of crimes, I still feel that if I let him die like this, I'm not doing the right thing. Huamin couldn't explain what he was feeling. He was very conflicted. I understand, honey. We've been together for so many years. I know what you're thinking. Qin Shu lowered his head and looked at Huamin with a relaxed smile. Really? You don't blame me? Why should I blame you? Huamin pursed his lips. Blame me for being a saint, hypocritical, pretentious, disgusting. Don't all the people outside say the same thing about me? Then I might think differently from them. What do you think? Huamin curiously looked up at Qin Shu's 360-degree face. My opinion is that my wife is always right. Ha, Mr. Qin, you're so shameless. Huamin burst into laughter. I won't lower myself to the level of a psychopath. Your husband still has some tolerance. The reason why I don't want you to see Hua Xiqian isn't because I'm jealous. It's because he's dangerous. You're pregnant right now, and I'm afraid something might happen, Qin Shu explained. I know. Honey, you're the best. I really think that it's rare for someone in this world to understand what you're implying. But you understand what I'm trying to say, because I'm your husband. Qin Shu smiled. The couple flaunted their love at the company. On the other side, Suyu was dumbfounded as soon as he got out of his car. There was a military green tent in front of his house. Fuck. I'm fucking kidding. It was Suyu's first time seeing someone so bold as to set up a tent in front of his house. It felt like they were stepping on the lion's head. Chapter 32:18. Without a word, Suyu strode over and opened the zipper of the tent. He was about to curse when he turned his head and didn't dare to look. What was the reason? It was because Zheng Ro was only wearing black underwear. She didn't even cover herself with the quilt and was playing with her cell phone in the tent. An ordinary man would have had a nosebleed by now. Suyu was a man, after all, and he felt embarrassed when he saw it. Hey, you're back. Seeing Suyu, Zheng Ro got up. What do you want? To keep you company. I don't have any family here. Auntie, Sue asked me to live in your house, so she gave me the key. But someone is too cruel and won't let me in, so I have to live in the tent. I wonder if I'll be bitten to death by mosquitoes at night. Stop it. Zheng Ro, you're the daughter of a provincial governor. Don't you think it's shameful for you to do this? No, I think it's interesting. Zheng Ro chuckled with her hands on her cheeks. Suyu, don't worry. Since you don't want me to live in the same house as you, I can live outside, right? No, get out. I don't want to see you. So you didn't like this woman at all. He directly ordered them to leave, and he showed no mercy at all. I can't even live outside. Suyu, you're too much. Zheng Ro looked aggrieved. I'm too much? Zheng Ro, are you being unreasonable? You're an unmarried lady who came to a strange man's house dressed like this. You even used the power of the media to create hype. Shameless. No man would like you for doing this. Don't you think you're pretentious and disgusting? Really? That's great. Do you know that I've had a dream since I was a child to disgust people when I grow up? It seems I've done it. Suyu, I don't want to talk to you. If you don't want me to use force, you can stay here. I'll get a trencher to take you away. After threatening her, Suyu turned around and entered the house. Okay, you'd better call a helicopter to take me away. Okay? You're good. Zheng Ro didn't back down. After Suyu went in, Zheng Ro got up, put on a long white dress, and combed her hair. Actually, this woman's facial features were really pretty. She was one of the rare types who could look good without makeup. After all, she was still young, so her face looked like water could be squeezed out of it. After Suyu came in, Zheng Ro put on her clothes, picked up her phone, and opened a live stream app. This is the private mansion of a young master of the Su family, Suyu. It's said that the unit price in this community is as high as 80,000 yuan per square meter. Suyu's mansion is 400 to 500 square meters and has a private swimming pool and garden. I must say he's super rich with high-end decorations. I wasn't lying, right? But Suyu doesn't seem to like me and won't let me in. So I've set up a tent and I'm going to sleep on the floor. I, Zheng Ro, am a woman of my word. At this moment, more than 50,000 people were watching Zheng Ro's live stream. It wasn't a lot, but it wasn't a small number either. This woman wasn't a professional live stream host and didn't do it for money. She started the live stream purely to test the curiosity of Suyu's fans and thought it was fun. What's she doing? In his room, Suyu looked at Zheng Ro, who was holding her phone and murmuring to herself. Chapter 32:19. Puzzled, Suyu called in President Su. Did you send a client away? Yes. Then why don't you come back? Suyu suddenly felt lonely without and as his assistant. I was going to go back, but I got a call from Adam, so I have to go to the old house first. Why did my mom call you? Suyu was surprised. Madam said that some of your grandfather's old subordinates brought back some seasonal lychees from the south. They're called Smile of the Concubine, and they taste good. She asked me to bring some for you. I'm not a kid. Why should I eat fruit? Come back quickly. Okay, President Su. Hey, wait. Do you have a lot of lychees? Can you pack a few boxes and send them to South Hill Manor? Suyu asked. Don't worry. Madam has thought of it and has sent people to deliver them. Boss, you're still thinking about Dr. Hua. Are you sure? I reminded him in a friendly way. Bullshit. I'm thinking about Pudding and Little Bean. Suyu refused to admit it. Okay, President Su, you win, and hung up with a smile. Suyu watched the crazy woman singing and dancing at the door like a psycho. He couldn't stand it anymore. When he came back, he would ask him to throw her out so that she wouldn't go crazy in front of his house. Zheng Ro turned around and saw Suyu looking at her from inside the house. She waved her hand and said to the camera, Do you want to do a square dance? Come on, let's dance awkwardly and hurt each other. Suyu, exasperated, Suyu drew the curtains. The fans on the live stream platform went crazy and the female fans spammed the screen. Ah, my Lord Su is so shy that he blocked the curtains. Huh, he's so cute. Wow, it's my first time seeing young Master Su up close. He's really handsome and shy. Thank you, Ruru, for giving us this opportunity. A certain netizen gave him a Porsche as a prop. A certain netizen gave him a plane. There were also some who directly gave out many sets of 520 items. In an instant, props flew all over the place. Huh, you don't have to help me. I didn't start the live stream to make money from you. I'll just take it as lay phone and tell you the daily life of Super Tycoon Suyu, Zheng Ro said with a smile. At this time, and came back with another black Audi A8 in Suyu's garage. He took out boxes of lychees from the trunk. There were 4 small boxes in total, and they were very exquisite. And you're back? Zheng Ro greeted him. Hello. Xiaoan nodded. What's that in your hand? Madam sent lychees to President Su. Wow, lychee is my favorite fruit. Then do you want to try it? Xiaoan also felt that since the lady had asked, it wouldn't be good if he didn't be polite, right? Besides, girls nowadays were all thin-skinned and wouldn't really want it. Who would have thought that the plot would actually be reversed? Okay, give me these 2 boxes, and had only taken 4 boxes, and the girl wanted to keep 2 for herself. Really, what? You don't want to give them to me? Zheng Ro looked at it. No, of course not. You can have them. Thank you. You're so nice. I'll treat you to spicy hot pot later, Zheng Ro said, and took the 2 boxes of lychees from Anne's arms. Looking embarrassed, and walked into the house with the remaining 2 boxes in his arms. As soon as he entered the house, Suyu said with a half smile, Good. You use my stuff to flirt with girls. Not bad, kid. Startled, and shivered and almost dropped the 2 boxes on the floor. Chapter 32:20. President Su, I'm innocent. What do you mean? President Su glanced at him. That girl asked for it. Since she asked, I had to give it to her. How could I do that? Good. Fine. You're the good guy, and you're still complaining. Fine. I heard from my mom that this is the best quality lychee, and the market price is as high as 500 yuan per caddy. A box weighs about 5 caddies, which means a box is only 2,500 yuan. You gave 2 boxes to that dog skin plaster without my permission, which means I'll deduct 5,000 yuan from your salary next month. That's enough. When he heard this, he was about to cry. No, don't deduct it. That's all I have. If you want to deduct it, I'll get it back for you. As Xiaoan spoke, he walked out. Come back. You're really going? That's right. Xiaoan's face was bitter. You want to take back what you gave her? Suyu asked with a chuckle. It's better than deducting 5,000 yuan from my salary. After all, I'm not related to her. Why should I do her a favor? Fine, I won't deduct your salary. Just don't do it again. Okay. And knew Suyu wouldn't take advantage of him. But you must find a way to get rid of her. I can't let her stay here. What does she look like when she sets up a tent in front of my house? If word gets out, Suyu, won't be able to survive? How can I get rid of her? Should I call the police? Call the police, my ass. Do you know who her father is? No. And shook his head. Her father is a high-ranking official in the province. The new director of the Provincial Public Security Bureau is her uncle. Fuck. She has such a powerful background. That shouldn't be the case. A girl with such a powerful background shouldn't do such a thing shamelessly. You're asking me? Who the fuck am I supposed to ask? Suyu was frustrated. He wanted to get rid of Zheng Ro, even if he had to kidnap her, so that she wouldn't be an eyesore. But when Suyu did a simple check on the girl's background, he was shocked. Auntie only said that the young lady was the daughter of a high-ranking official, but did not say which high-ranking official. At first, Suyu thought that she was just the daughter of a local director of the National Tax Bureau, the Local Tax Bureau, or the Water Conservancy Bureau. Now that she looked at it, that was not the case. Her father was also someone who could sit together with the provincial party secretary for a meeting. His uncle was also the newly appointed director of the provincial department. The Zheng family was also well known in the provincial capital. Moreover, it seemed that they had a good reputation. Suyu's aunt and uncle had always been on good terms with them, so it was inevitable that they wanted to form a marriage alliance. After knowing their background, Suyu couldn't do anything. The police here didn't dare to touch them at all. Even if Gao Ran came, he would have to be polite when he saw the lady. After all, they were related. Therefore, if he couldn't use force, this matter wouldn't be easy to handle, and you go. What am I going to do? Shaolin was confused. You go and get that woman away. President Su, you think too highly of me. What can I do when even you can't do anything about it? You go and seduce her. Shaolin felt as if he had been struck by lightning. His body shook. Then, he almost knelt down before Suyu. President Su, for the sake of my many years of service to you, please spare me. Look at your useless face. I just asked you to get a woman. Suyu was exasperated at Huasiqian's failure to meet his expectations. President Su, you're still single at your age. Why don't you reluctantly accept her, and everyone will be happy, and persuaded in a low voice. Suyu was about to retort. Then, he heard a knock on the door. Suyu opened the door. Open the door. Zheng Ro yelled. What's the matter? Suyu was extremely impatient. Chapter 32:21. I need to go to the washroom. Suyu, and open the door. I don't know what I ate. And looked back at Suyu as if asking for his boss's opinion. Open the door for her. Suyu gritted his teeth and immediately opened the door, and Zheng Ro ran upstairs as fast as the wind. Come back. There's a washroom on the first floor, Suyu yelled. The view upstairs is better, Zheng Ro yelled without looking back. Suyu was speechless. She wanted to go to the washroom with a good view? Was this woman too pretentious? President Su, you asked me to open the washroom. It's none of my business. And try to clear his name. Upset, Suyu picked up his cell phone and dialed his aunt's number. Nephew, why did you call me today? Suyu was very happy to answer the phone. Aunt, I beg you. Can you get rid of that dogskin plaster? Dogskin plaster? Who is it? Is it that guy named in? I think it's inappropriate for a chauffeur like him to stay in your house all the time. It'll affect your relationship with Ro. Aunt, can you stop it? I'm talking about Zheng Ro. Huh, isn't Ro very cute? Let me tell you, she was very naughty when she was little. Her mother told me a lot of interesting things about her when she was little. I thought she was very similar to you when he was little. Aunt, she's not my type. Can you stop meddling? Do you want to piss me off? Suyu couldn't take it anymore. Relationships are developed slowly. Don't rush it, okay? I'm afraid I'll die if I continue. Huh, you're exaggerating. Ro has a good personality. You'll know when you get to know her. I don't care. Find a way to get rid of her as soon as possible. You? Hello? Hello? I'm here. Hello? What kind of cell phone is this? There's no signal. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Then, before Suyu could say anything, his aunt hung up the phone. What era is this? No signal? Who are you trying to fool? Suyu deeply felt that his aunt had done it on purpose this time. But even if it was for his own good, she shouldn't do this, right? Indiscriminately sending over a woman who he didn't even know was a ghost. Suyu threw the phone on the sofa and leaned his head back, letting out a long sigh. President Su, do you want a quick-acting heart reliever pill? And asked, wouldn't it be better if you sent me directly to the crematorium? Suyu snorted coldly and almost laughed himself to death. This was the first time he had seen his boss in such a state. About half an hour later, Zheng Ro slowly came downstairs. Suyu, I have a suggestion, huh? Suyu turned his head and ignored her, completely ignoring her existence. Can you not use Wi-Fi in your toilet? I played several rounds of King of Glory while going to the washroom. When I got up, my legs were numb. Zheng Ro said, "Uff," and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Suyu glanced at Zheng Ro faintly. So, you're taking advantage of me? No. If I win, I'll let it go. But I lost several rounds in a row and was tricked by my teammates. It's so miserable. In the end, I concluded that I can't play King of Glory in the washroom because it's too smelly and unlucky, Zheng Ro said seriously. Haha, Miss Zheng, you're so funny. And had never seen such a funny girl. I'll give you 3 seconds to fucking disappear. Suyu was furious. Chapter 32-22. Calm down. Huh, I'll leave right away. Zheng Ro muttered as she walked. You're so stingy. All I did was use the bathroom. Suyu was so angry that his eyes were about to spit fire, but there was nothing he could do. Who was at home when you went to get the lychees today? Madam and the housekeeper were at home and answered honestly. Where's my dad? Master should be back tonight. Why? Do you want to go home? And knew his boss wanted to leave. Where can I live in the other houses? You can live in them all, but most of your daily necessities are in the old house and here. If you move in suddenly, you'll have nothing. It's not convenient. Tang Chuan's villa is not bad. I should go to his place for the night. I don't think so. Didn't Miss Qin Ning move in there? Didn't she go back to South Hill Manor? But South Hill Manor has been crowded recently and can't accommodate her. It's said that after Dr. Hua got pregnant, South Hill Manor hired more maids to take care of pregnant women. Qin Ning's father hasn't left yet, so young Master Tang fooled Miss Qin. This guy is so lucky. Suyu put his hands on his hips, worrying about where to live. President Su, I don't think you can move out. Miss Zheng will stick to you wherever you go. It doesn't matter where you go, right? And guessed. You have a point. Suyu rubbed his chin and analyzed rationally. So, you'd better stay at home. Miss Zheng lives outside and won't do anything to you. Huh. Go away. Don't make trouble for me. It's annoying. In the end, Suyu didn't want to talk to him. Suyu seldom had dinner at home, so when it was dinner time, he would eat and drink with a few cans of cold beer and cook food from the fridge while watching football. Today was no exception, but Zheng Ro was different. She ordered takeout, pizza, fried chicken, and beer on her cell phone. It was spread all over the table, and there was even a fruit salad. Suyu, Zheng Ro shouted at the door. Go out and see what's wrong with this woman. If she's going to the toilet, just open the door for her. Suyu was too lazy to talk to the woman, and followed his boss's instructions and went to open the door. Miss Zheng, can you ask Suyu if he wants to eat the beer fried chicken I order for takeout? All right, please wait a moment. And then trotted to Suyu. President Su, Miss Zheng said she ordered takeout, beer, and fried chicken. Do you want some? No, Suyu refused stubbornly. Miss Zheng, President Su said he's not hungry, and rejected Zheng Ro politely. That's all right. Let's go and eat. Let's go. I ordered a lot. Zheng Ro invited him warmly. No. How could I accept that? There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Didn't you just give me 2 boxes of lychees? Before one could say anything, Zheng Ro dragged him out. She looked like a female bandit, and was scared out of his wits. After watching TV for a while, Suyu didn't hear anything behind him. He called out, and then, after a long time, no one responded. Suyu stood up and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window. Wow, good job. The 2 people outside were eating and drinking with a fried chicken drumstick and a can of beer each. And, are you betraying me? Suyu opened the door and walked over with his hands clasped behind his back. He glanced at Zheng Ro and then at him. Chapter 32-23. Ahem. President Su, you're exaggerating. And almost choked on the drumstick in his mouth and stood up in fright. So what are you doing? You won't eat with us and won't let others eat with us. Are you saying the grapes are sour because you can't eat them? Zheng Ro defended in. I'm saying the grapes are sour because I can't eat them? Are you kidding me? Do you think I'll eat your junk food? Suyu pointed at the fried chicken and beer and said righteously, President Su, don't you often eat with pudding and little bean? How's it junk food? And looked aggrieved. Shut up. I'll teach you a lesson later. Suyu glared at him, thinking this guy was good at undermining him. I thought, young master, Su only had a bad temper. Now it seems you're narrow-minded. Humph, yeah, I'm narrow-minded. So why are you still here? Get out. So you try to drive her away. Why should I leave? I haven't had enough fun. I came here to travel. Can't I go camping? You can go camping. Why do you have to do it in front of my house? Suyu argued with Zheng Ro like a child. I like it, okay? Pooh. Please. I don't want to be the scapegoat. And was so scared that his face turned pale. If Zheng Ro was an ordinary person, it would be fine. But he couldn't handle a woman with such a background, so he didn't dare to think too much about it. Besides, he could tell Zheng Ro came here for Suyu. Okay, if you marry in, I'll give you 10 Lamborghinis, Suyu said generously. Who wants your Lamborghinis? Pooh, do you think only the Su family is rich? Look at your face. Humph, I don't want to talk to you. And let's continue drinking. I don't think so. President Su, why don't you sit down and drink with us? And felt the atmosphere was strange today. I don't eat junk food. Thank you. You guys go ahead. Then, Suyu turned and walked into the door. Miss Zheng, our boss seems to be angry. I'll go in and take a look. I'm fine. Don't be nervous. Zheng Ro acted as if she knew Suyu very well. Less than 5 minutes after going in, Suyu came out in a new set of clothes. He grabbed his car keys and headed straight for the garage. Then he drove the car out. President Su, where are you going? Shall I drive? And stood up slowly. Suyu didn't reply at all. He stepped on the accelerator and the car sped away. Only a gust of car exhaust was left behind. Zheng Ro and Xiaoan coughed violently. Ha 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 ha. Suyu is so funny. Is he angry? Zheng Ro laughed wildly, not behaving like a lady at all. I don't know if I'm angry or not, but I know I'm not far from death. Xiaoyan pouted. Humph, don't be afraid. I've got your back. Don't worry. Auntie Su, Suyu's aunt, likes me very much. She watched me grow up, so you won't go too far. Miss Zheng, you're so excellent. Why do you have to pester our President Su? He's troubled. And also thought this woman had gone too far. Suyu isn't here now. There's something we need to talk about. What is it? And froze. Zheng Ro's words seemed to have a hidden meaning. I heard he's been in love with a woman for years. Is that true? Zheng Ro suddenly lowered her voice and asked. Chapter 32-24. Miss Zheng this, and didn't seem to want to talk about Suyu's private matters. Don't worry. I know everything I want to know about your boss. He's been in love with her for several years. Who doesn't know about it? It's easy for me to find out anything. I just want to hear the complete Suyu from you. The real Suyu. Not the Suyu that the media made him out to be, or the perfect Suyu that the elders said he was. It's not that I don't believe that a person has no flaws, so you don't have to be nervous. Miss Zheng, you want to know about President Su so much. Do you have a plan? Yes. If I didn't, why would I come here and argue with him and get scolded? Zheng Ro smiled. Miss Zheng, are you interested in President Su's family background like those socialites? And asked tentatively. No. Although the Su family is indeed prominent, our Zheng family isn't bad either. It can be said that our ancestors were nobles. My great-grandfather's generation were all nobles in the Qing dynasty. All these years, our family has never lacked money, even during the turmoil of war. So, I find it a little ridiculous that you're talking about his family background. If that's the case, why are you so interested in President Su? Not only was Suyu's bodyguard and assistant, but he was also like a brother to him most of the time. regarding this woman's sudden appearance and her eagerness to sue you, and really felt that it was a conspiracy. Or, there was another green tea bitch. The lessons from Jiantong and Zhao Qingyao were still fresh in his mind. He remembered that once, Suyu was drunk and chatted with him. When they talked about socialites and said, President Su, even if you don't like them, it's good that they like you. Wasn't it good to flirt with them? At least, this was what a rich man's son should do. However, Suyu said very seriously that he wasn't interested in these women. If he treated them well, they would take advantage of him and think that she was a young lady of the Su family. When the time came, it would be a small matter to create trouble for Huamin. Only then didn't come to a realization. As it turned out, Zhao, Qingya, Jiantong, and the others hadn't caused any harm to Suyu. However, it was true that they were both deeply hostile towards Huamin because Suyu was deeply in love with Huamin. Therefore, in order not to create unnecessary enemies for Huamin, Suyu not only refused to fall in love, but also cut off all ambiguous relationships. At that time, Shaoan felt that his boss was really an infatuated man. He didn't know why Zheng Ro had come, so he wouldn't believe her words easily. How should I put it? And I'm here for Suyu. You might not believe me even if I tell you the reason. Zheng Ro smiled and took a sip of beer, and didn't say anything and just listened to her quietly. When I was in college, I liked a guy. He was recognized as the most handsome guy in our school. Coincidentally, he was in the same class as me. He was handsome, good at studying, and good at basketball. A lot of girls liked him. At that time, I always thought that he was a man of substance and wouldn't like those ordinary girls. What happened later? I was interested in Zheng Ro's story. Later, I wrote him a love letter. I've been like this since I was a little girl. In my mother's words, I'm a female bandit. Zheng Ro smiled. Did the most handsome boy agree? How should I put it? He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no either. At that time, I didn't understand, but now I think it was ambiguous. It was more than a friend, but not a lover. He. Zheng Ro laughed self-mockingly. You broke up? And saw that Zheng Ro was a bit sad. It probably was a good memory. Chapter 32-25. We didn't officially date, so how could we break up? At that time, he was nice to me. Like all couples, we didn't make our relationship public, but he was nice to me. Sometimes, we would sneak out to eat snacks and go to the night market. I went to his matches and even got someone to buy him a pair of limited edition Jordan basketball shoes. At that time, I felt happy. I thought I would get married after graduating from college like all the lucky girls. Not speaking, and sipped his beer silently and listened to Zheng Ro's story quietly. He didn't know why Zheng Ro told him this when they weren't close. But in fact, some words were only suitable for strangers. Because of my special identity, I always kept a low profile in school. My dad always sent people to protect me in secret. In order not to attract attention, I always took a taxi home after school and didn't need the family car to send me home. So, at that time, the boy I liked thought that I was just a working-class girl in the city. So, near graduation, when everyone was busy looking for a job, he told me one day that he wanted to go abroad. Zheng Ro looked at him with a complicated expression and continued to smile, but her smile was still bleak. When he said that, I was so happy. In fact, I wanted to say, I'll go wherever you go. I'll always be with you. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to say it because he said, I'm sorry, Ru. It wasn't easy for me to get to where I am today. I don't want to give up. I want to go higher and further. I can't waste my youth in this small city. What happened then? And asked in a low voice. After that, he left. At that time, I thought that he wanted to leave me because he wanted to go abroad. Later, when I returned to the dormitory, my good friend told me that he had gotten together with a girl from another faculty. That girl looked very ordinary and was not talented, but her family was rich. Her father ran a supermarket chain and had tens of millions. He got together with that girl, and the girl's father sent them to study in America. Then why didn't you tell him who you were? And felt that with Zheng Ro's background, most men would be scared to death. It didn't matter. If I told him, he would stay because of my identity, and it wouldn't be love, Zheng Ro said gloomily. After that, you two separated just like that. That's right. The funny thing was that a few years later, when he returned from his studies, the girl's family went bankrupt. He broke up with her again and married a female military doctor. His father-in-law arranged for him to be a prosecutor in the procuratorate. This man is really stepping on women all the way to get to the top. Shaoan felt that although he was just a bodyguard, he didn't have to live so cowardly. What's even funnier is that last year on my dad's birthday, a lot of people came to my house. Through someone's recommendation, he bought a high-quality tea set as a gift for my dad, hoping that my dad would support him. When he saw me, his expression, haha, you must be shocked, right? Shaoan asked. I wasn't shocked. My reaction was stupid. Zheng Ro took another sip of beer and said, he must regret that he didn't continue to be with you. Yeah. Anyway, he told me. Ru, I didn't know. You're Secretary Zheng's daughter, said Zheng Ro. Then do you think he ever loved you? I'm not sure. It's been so many years, and I don't want to look into it. It's just a story about a heartless man and a stupid woman, Zheng Ro said mildly. So, what's the connection between your story and your interest in our President Su? And brought the topic back to the main point. Chapter 32-26. The point is, after that incident, I never fucking believed in love again. But later on, I accidentally heard about Su Yu's story from Auntie Su. Our President Su's story? I was speechless. Yeah, your young Master Su's unrequited love for a female doctor for several years. All right, Shaoan finally had an idea. To be honest, I've heard so much gossip about Su Yu that I'm sick of it. There's a lot of gossip going around in the circle, on the internet, and on Weibo. Anyway, there's a lot of gossip. But I trust Auntie Su and know that she wouldn't exaggerate. When she told me about Su Yu, I was shocked that he pointed a gun at his head to protect Huamian. That incident was real. It wasn't a rumor, and said. I know. That's why I said I was shocked. Compared to the heartless jerk who abandoned his girlfriend for his future, Su Yu was willing to risk his life for a girl who didn't like him. At first, I thought it was stupid, but Su Yu isn't stupid. Later on, I believed his saying. What's saying? All meetings in this world are reunions after a long separation. Maybe Su Yu had a relationship with her in his previous life, and that's why he's like this in this life. Our President Su truly loves Dr. Hua, and he loves her to the core. But he's never broken up a family. Right now, President Su is good friends with Dr. Hua and Dr. Hua's husband, and quickly explained for his boss. I know. That's why, at that moment, I wanted to meet this legendary infatuated jerk. President Su has never been nice to women he doesn't like. You'll know when you've known him for a long time. I'm sure you'll feel the difference. When you see that President Su treats everyone but Dr. Hua well, you'll feel bad. So, I advise you to back off. Whether it's for the sake of the Su family or President Su's true nature, I don't think he's a good match for you. Kid, you look dumb, but when you talk about principles, you're quite smart. Zheng Ro bit her lip and smiled. I'm just trying to be nice. Miss Zheng, you're young, pretty, and have a powerful family. You can find any man you want. Why waste your time on President Su? How do you know I'm wasting my time? How do you know Su Yu won't fall in love with me? Zheng Ro smiled. From what I know of him, Dr. Hua is still alive. Even if Dr. Hua is dead, he won't fall in love with anyone. I'm not exaggerating. Su Yu is such a stubborn person. Zheng Ro sighed. Yes, so in the past few years, many socialites, actresses, young models, hosts, and internet celebrities have tried their best to get close to him, but no one succeeded. The only few scheming bitches who tried to get close to him died miserably in the end. So, I advise you not to dig a hole for yourself. I like challenging things. Now that you mention it, I'm more interested in Su Yu. Well, I wish you good luck. Shaoan sighed and didn't say much. He couldn't tell if Zheng Ro was a good or bad woman since he didn't know her well. He had to observe her character. But did President Su like her? Su Yu went out to drink with Tang Chuan and Wei Liao, but they were all busy. One was having a family gathering, and the other was driving to the neighboring city to watch the Lantern Festival. Just as she was about to ask some rich heirs to drink with her, she received a call from Shun Mingxi. Lord Su, do you have time to come out for a drink? Shun Mingxi's voice was deep. Chapter 32:27. I'm free. Wait for me. Haha. Ancient bar, top floor booth. After making a reservation, Suyu drove to the bar. Maybe because he was getting older, Suyu rarely went to nightclubs. His gatherings with Wei Liao and the others had gradually become hot pot restaurants and tea houses. Finally, he wanted a drink, but he chose the low-key ancient bar. Suyu had just sat down and ordered the drinks when Shin Mingxi arrived. Dressed in white, he had the same taste as Suyu. The two of them were like two clear streams in the night. How come you're in a mood to drink with me today? Suyu chuckled. I just feel a little depressed. Are you still worried about weighing? Let's not talk about it. Come on, let's drink. Shin Mingxi didn't say more. He raised his glass and drank with Suyu. While chatting with him, Shin Mingxi learned that he had sent Hui Yinyan's daughter abroad. Isn't that a good thing? That kid doesn't look likable. Isn't it better that she went abroad? You're an unmarried young man. It's not good to have a tail following you around. Shin Mingxi nodded. That's true, but I still feel that I let the child go because of my selfishness. I thought that the child would cry for a long time when she left, but to my surprise, she was very calm. She didn't say anything and didn't shed a single tear. The kid has a temper, Suyu said with a chuckle. She must be mad at me. She never called me when she was there. When I called her, she was very cold. Hee, you're the classic example of kindness begetting enmity. You raised her for so long, and now she's your enemy. I don't regret taking care of the child. After all, I was fated to be with Hui Yinyan. However, Tiantian's personality is indeed a little twisted. I don't want her to grow up to be like her mother. You should be treated well, but if you don't, you deserve to die. This kind of thinking is very scary. That's right. Isn't this the kind of thing that's been reposted on WeChat recently? I gave you one candy and gave others too. You're unhappy and hate me. But you don't know that others have also given me candy, but you didn't give me anything. That's why people, regardless of gender, age, or gender, if they don't know how to be grateful, they're finished. This person is basically an ingrate. Yes, but she's still a child. I just hope that she can study hard and be a good person after going abroad. The child lives in the dormitory. Is there anyone taking care of him? Yes. Wei Ying contacted the school for me and found a friend there to be my guardian. We know each other very well. Wei Ying is quite generous this time. If it were me, I wouldn't care about Hui Yinyan's daughter at all. Yes, Ying seems to have changed. Sometimes I feel like I've been separated from her for a lifetime. Do you regret the divorce? Suyu asked nosily. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But people like me don't have the right to regret. I made a mistake and have to bear the consequences. It's nothing. You're quite forgiving. Don't talk about me. What about you? I heard that you have a girlfriend and moved in with her. You read the gossip news? Suyu glanced at Shin Mingxi in disdain. How can I not know the news? I heard the employees talking about it in the cafeteria at noon. Then your employees are really out of their minds to talk about their boss's buddy behind his back. Suyu chuckled. Don't talk nonsense. Is it true this time? Are you really ready to forget Huomin? Shin Mingxi asked Suyu. Chapter 32:28. Are you kidding me? Of course it's fake, Suyu denied. I knew it. You've been so stubborn for the past few years. Why would you suddenly? Shin Mingxi chuckled at this point. This crazy woman is not my cup of tea. I know. Then why did you ask? Suyu chuckled. Let's drink. Young Master Shin seemed to be in a complicated mood tonight. He wanted to talk more with Suyu, but he didn't know where to start. Maybe he hadn't thought it through yet, so he was conflicted. At South Hill Manor, when Qin got off work, he drove home with his wife and children, escorted by 2 bodyguards. After returning home, Qin paid extra attention to Huomin's safety. He knew that although Huasiqian was under his control, there were people out there who were more terrifying than Huasiqian. He had to deal with them, and those people were a bigger threat to Huomin and their family. When the family of 3 returned home, Qin mother had prepared a sumptuous dinner. Wow, it smells so good. Grandma, what did you make? Little Bean asked as soon as she entered the house. You have the best nose, little girl. Old Madam Qin smiled and pinched Little Bean's little face. Come on, Grandma. I'm so hungry, Little Bean said coquettishly. Dumplings. Are you happy? Io. Isn't this my daddy's favorite food? Especially since Grandma made it herself. So Grandma is biased toward her son. You little brat. You make it sound like you don't like them. I like them too. I'm not picky. As long as it's good, I like it. Haha. With that, Little Bean skipped into the living room and threw herself into her grandfather's arms, continuing to act like a spoiled child. You two go wash your hands. It's time to eat. Mrs. Cheen looked at her son and daughter-in-law. Mom, you made dumplings again. Well, I heard from the kitchen yesterday that you wanted to eat dumplings with pickled vegetables. Cheen Chu's mother said lovingly. I'm just saying. Mom, you're working too hard. Huamin felt a little apologetic. Although she was pregnant, she didn't want to torment everyone because of her own selfishness. This was especially true for grannies who were not young anymore. It was a waste of time for the elderly to personally knead the dough, mix the meat stuffing, and wrap the dough. Although there were maids at home, in order to maintain the original smell, the old lady still did most of the work herself. So, Huamin felt a little guilty. Listen to what you're saying. We're family. You're our child now, just like Chu. We'll make whatever you want to eat. Go wash your hands. The old man urged. Huamin happily held Cheen Chu's hand and walked to the bathroom on the first floor. When he walked past Pudding, he saw that Pudding was holding her phone and didn't know what to do. Pudding, what time did you come back? In the afternoon. You were at Imperial Star the whole time? You stayed the whole day? Huamin was a little surprised. Yeah. I was in Handsome Sue's office at noon. I want to watch the artists rehearse in the afternoon. You're very busy. Why? Are you interested in acting? Huamin asked Pudding with a smile. In fact, it was just a casual question. Mom, I'll talk to you about this later. Go wash your hands first and let's eat. You make it sound like it's not a big deal. Huamin smiled and didn't think it was a big deal. During the meal, Pudding started gossiping again. Grandpa, Grandma, I have good news to announce. What good news? Mrs. Cheen looked puzzled. If you and Grandpa give me 1,000 yuan each, I'll tell you. And you, sis, you're the richest. Give me 10,000 yuan, or I won't tell you. Pudding smiled proudly. Chapter 32:29. I definitely can't give you the money. It's up to you whether you want to tell me or not. I'm not interested. Pudding refused without hesitation. Huh? Daddy, look at your eldest daughter. She's such a jerk. Pudding was displeased. Haha, it's hard for you to blackmail your sister. Huamin was amused. Forget it. Grandpa, Grandma, give me the money and I'll tell you secretly. Pudding glanced at her grandparents. Grandpa, Grandma, you don't have to give her the money either. With her mouth, she'll tell you even if you don't give her the money. She won't be able to hold it in for long. Why waste money? Pudding interrupted. Qin Zhao Zhao, you're such a jerk. Not only are you not giving the money, but you're also instigating Grandpa and Grandma. Are we still sisters? If you're sisters, you shouldn't ask for money. Grandpa and Grandma are so good to you. How can you ask for money? Shame on you. Pudding retorted. Hey, you. Pudding was speechless. Haha, stop it. Haha, that's enough, you two. Stop arguing, my head hurts. How about this? Let's each take a step back. 1,000 yuan per person is indeed a bit too much. How about this? Grandpa will give you 500 yuan for you to announce the good news to everyone. Okay? Qin Chu's father smiled as he took out 5 100 yuan bills from his old shirt and placed them on the table. 500 yuan? That's too little. It's not even enough for a few bowls of Haagen-Dazs. Pudding pouted. Quit while you're ahead. Grandpa is being kind by giving you 500 yuan. Otherwise, I won't even give you 500 yuan. Pudding reached out to take the money. However, Pudding quickly snatched it away. Qin Zhao Zhao, don't even think about taking my money. Pudding didn't really want to take the money. She just wanted to provoke Pudding. As expected, Pudding couldn't hold it in anymore. Granddaughter, now that you've taken Grandpa's money, shouldn't you tell us the good news? Mrs. Cheen picked up a dumpling with her chopsticks and placed it in Huamin's bowl. Huamin looked at his grandmother, touched. The good news is that I went with Mommy for a prenatal checkup today. The auntie who did the ultrasound said that Mommy is pregnant with a little brother. Is it true? Mian, is what the child said true? Mrs. Cheen looked a little excited. Yeah, Mian, is what Little Bean said true? Qin Chu's father looked a little agitated. Ahem. Little Bean, who told you to talk nonsense? Huamin was a little embarrassed. Originally, she only wanted to tell Mr. Qin about the results. She didn't expect to spread the news. After all, if the results were reversed, it would be a huge slap in the face. However, she didn't expect that Little Bean would betray her immediately. However, what Huamin didn't understand was that he clearly remembered that he didn't tell Little Bean or Chenjie. Where did this little girl get the news from? I'm not talking nonsense. It's all true. Who told you that? Huamin looked at his daughter in confusion. Does it even need to be said? Mommy was going to go home after the prenatal checkup, but she suddenly changed her mind and went to find Daddy. She was smiling the whole way. So something good must have happened. She must be pregnant with a boy. You're going to give birth to a prince for our family, Little Bean guessed. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Yeah, our Little Bean is so smart, Qin Chu praised proudly. Mommy, is what Little Bean said true? Pudding was very calm. She tilted her head and asked Huamin, I'm not sure. It's just a temporary prenatal checkup. Maybe my colleague said that to comfort me. Huh, don't take it too seriously. Huamin was a little embarrassed. That's impossible. The equipment at Southside has always been very advanced. Mian, you don't have to be embarrassed. Qin Chu's father seemed very excited. After all, he didn't even dare to think that he would have the chance to have a grandson in his lifetime. Yeah, Mian, just tell your dad and me the truth so that we don't have to guess. Qin Chu's mother was also very excited. Chapter 32:30. Mom, the preliminary examination at the hospital shows that it's a boy, but it's not 100% accurate, so don't get your hopes up. Huh. Huamin didn't want to be too sure. To be honest, if Little Bean didn't tell anyone about it, she wouldn't have told anyone. Huamin was a relatively low-key person. It wasn't her style to go around telling people that she was pregnant with a boy. Although Huamin had emphasized that it might not be accurate, she told everyone not to get their hopes up. But when Qin Chu's parents heard this, they were still very happy. Oh, that's great. Chu's dad. Our Qin family has a descendant. Yeah, I didn't even dare to think that I could hold a grandson. I thought we were already very happy with 2 big babies. God is really good to our Qin family. Qin Chu's parents looked very excited. Ashamed and shy, Huamin leaned her head on Qin Chu's shoulder. Honey, what should I do? I'm not used to it. Mom and Dad have such a big reaction. Calm down. They're old. It's normal for them to be happy. Qin Chu comforted her. Mommy, that means we'll have a little brother in the future, right? Pudding continued to ask. Yeah, theoretically, yes. But don't worry, Pudding. Even if we have a little brother, your daddy and I will still treat you and your sister well. Huamin wanted to comfort the child, afraid that she would lose her balance. Mommy, you worry too much. I'm very happy. I think we'll have a scapegoat in the family. My sister and I will have a successor. Qin Chu, Huamin, haha. Sis, you're right. I think so too. I'll give my little brother a nickname, Little Black Pot. Is that okay? Little Bean said. Little Black Pot? Or would a small pot sound better? Pudding said. No. It's not cute enough. I think a little scapegoat would be cuter. At the dinner table, the 2 sisters began to talk about their younger brother's future nickname. Qin Chu and Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Hubby, I have a bad feeling about this. Huamin lowered her voice and whispered into Qin Chu's ear. What premonition? I think our baby won't have a good life after he comes out. These 2 sisters aren't easy to deal with. Don't worry. I believe that the son born from our genes won't be that useless. That's true. Huamin nodded in agreement. So, let them hurt each other, Qin Chu said calmly. Ha! You're so naughty, Mr. Qin. Just like that, the family ate the dumplings made by old Madame Qin in an extremely happy atmosphere. Huamin had a great appetite and ate 15 dumplings in one go. He was stuffed. When they went upstairs, Qin Chu carefully put his arm around her waist and helped her walk upstairs. Little Bean stayed in the living room and watched TV with Grandpa. Pudding quietly followed her parents upstairs with her cell phone. After Qin Chu and Huamin entered the bedroom, Qin Shu turned around and was about to close the door when he saw Pudding standing at the door. Pudding, why are you here? Daddy, I have something that I need to ask for your and Mommy's opinion on. So serious? Qin Shu smiled and squatted down to pick up his daughter. Pudding rarely acted like a spoiled child and was mature most of the time. However, no matter how smart and sensible she was precocious. In Qin Shu's eyes, she was just a child. Daddy, I'm serious. It's really a big deal. How old are you? Qin Shu lovingly kissed his daughter's cheek, overflowing with fatherly love. Chapter 32-31. Super big. Pudding used the word super to describe it. In the end, Qin Shu decided to listen carefully to what his daughter was going to say. Honey, don't go into the bathroom yet. Our daughter has something important to tell us, Qin Shu said. Oh, okay. Huamin was about to enter the bathroom with a towel when he turned back. He sat on the bed and looked at the father and daughter at the door. Qin Shu carried Pudding in and put her on the sofa. Then, he sat down next to her. Daddy, go and close the door. I don't want others to hear. Okay. Qin Shu got up and closed the door. Then, they sat facing each other as if they were holding a shareholders' meeting. Miss Qin Zhao, can you tell us now? Huamin looked at his daughter with amusement. There are a lot of things I want to say, but I'm not a long-winded girl, so I'm going to simplify it and get to the point. First, Daddy, Mommy, I started a company. Huh? What? Huamin was confused and shocked. Qin Shu was calm. He glanced at Huamin and emphasized, Your daughter started a company. Yes, Daddy's right, Pudding confirmed. Are you kidding me? Huamin thought it was a bit ridiculous. How old was Pudding? Mommy, I'm serious, Pudding said. Okay, go on. What's the company you started? What's its nature? How much is it registered? Where did you start it? Huamin asked a series of questions. Mommy, this is also the second point I want to talk about. I didn't open this company myself. I bought it. To put it simply, I bought a ready-made company from someone else. I took it back and integrated it myself. Pudding, where did you get so much money? Do you know how much it costs to buy a company? Huamin seemed a little excited. Mommy, the company does have a lot of money, but I've also made a lot of money from the stock market. Plus, you and Daddy gave me the capital and the New Year's money that everyone gave me over the past few years. Although it's not enough, handsome Sue lent me the rest. I said I'll pay him back in the future. You even borrowed money from Sue. Huamin felt that this was too exciting. Honey, calm down. Let our daughter finish. Qin Shu had always been very calm. Money isn't the most important thing now. The most important thing is this company. He's Hua Xiqian's company, which is actually a mess, the whole corporation, Pudding said. At this moment, Huamin once again felt like he had suffered a heavy blow. What? You bought the whole corporation? Who told you to do this? Obviously, Huamin didn't agree with his daughter's actions. Mommy, Hua Xiqian has transferred a lot of his assets to the Swiss bank. Now, the whole corporation is only an empty shell with a bunch of abandoned employees. Theoretically, by taking over the whole corporation, I've solved the unemployment problem of many employees. This is a good thing, understand? Pudding, you're still a child. How can you carry such a big banner? Mommy, didn't you tell me that we should act according to our abilities? Huamin stood up excitedly and said to his daughter in a loud voice, Mian, sit down. Don't scare the child. Qin Shu hurried over and put his arm around his wife's shoulders. Mommy, I know what I'm capable of. I'm confident that I can bring the whole corporation back to life. Please trust me. Why should I trust you? Pudding, don't be so stubborn. I'll ask your daddy to help you get rid of this company. Huamin made a prompt decision. No, I'd rather die than take it. Pudding seemed to have made up her mind. The mother and daughter confronted each other, and the atmosphere was very tense. Chapter 32-32. Pudding, you won't listen to Mommy anymore. Huamin felt hurt. Daddy, please say something for me. Pudding looked at Qin Shu as if she had been wronged. Qin Shu turned around and put his arm around Hua Min's shoulder. Honey, listen to me. I know about Pudding's company. You knew? Then why didn't you tell me? Hua Min looked angry. Calm down and listen to me. Hua Xiqian's company is an empty shell. Pudding was willing to take over because she helped a lot of employees who were about to lose their jobs. Secondly, she felt that since the company shares your surname, she still has feelings for it. Secondly, she's still young and can't be the legal representative. That's why she used our mother's name. Our mother? Huamin frowned slightly. My mother-in-law? Your mother? My mother? Why? Huamin was even more confused. He didn't seem to understand Pudding's intention. Pudding, tell Mommy why she used your grandmother's name. Shu glanced at his daughter and gave her a look. Pudding immediately stood up and replied emotionally. Because I feel that the whole corporation owes my grandmother. When she was young, Hu Zhenghai always let her down. I want to get justice for her. To be honest, Huamin was very happy to hear the child words. She was only 3 years old and could think so much. She definitely wasn't an ordinary child. Pudding, I know you mean well, but you're too careless. You're still so young. How can you run a company by yourself? I'm not running it alone. Daddy can help me, and so can Handsome Sue. Honey, we've said before that we won't force our children to learn anything. As long as they like it, we'll support them. I don't see what Little Bean likes yet, but our Pudding is really interested in finance. She's been making money from the stock market and has saved a lot of money in the past few months. She also has a unique vision. Maybe this is the so-called talent. If her children like it, why should we deny her wish? But Huamin was still worried. Mommy, I won't do anything bad. Don't worry, I didn't start the company to make money. I really just like it and want to see how capable I am. Mian, think about yourself. How stubborn were you when you were a doctor? Chu asked her. Huamin lowered his head. He seemed to have been convinced by the father and daughter. Pudding looked at her father gratefully and bowed to thank her father for persuading her mother. Then she continued, now that we've talked about the company, let's talk about the second one. You're still coming? Huamian was a little scared. He was really afraid that his daughter would tell him that she wanted to build a rocket or something. He felt like he couldn't control the kid anymore. Daddy. Pudding begged Shu for help again. Go ahead. Daddy's listening. I went to Imperial Star today and talked about a project with Handsome Sue, Pudding said happily. What project? Shu asked. I want to invest in a new movie. The lead actress is a newcomer in Handsome Sue's company. I've seen her web dramas. She's very good at acting. I think she'll be famous. Go on. Shu took out a pack of cigarettes and was about to light it when he remembered that his pregnant wife was next to him. Therefore, he put the cigarette back as if he was reluctant to part with it. It's okay. I'm not afraid of the smoke, Huamin said with a smile. Mommy, you're thinking too much. Daddy's not afraid of the smoke. He's afraid of his son. Pudding chuckled. Chapter 32-33. Haha. Honey, do you not want us anymore now that you have a son? Pudding, whose side are you on? Did you forget who spoke for you just now? Shu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Daddy, Mommy, let's continue what we were talking about. Handsome Sue and I invested in this movie, and we'll split the profits 50-50. The money problem is solved. Continue. Shu knew that his daughter always put the main point at the end of her speech. My last point is that I want you and Little Bean to participate in this movie. What? Huamin was excited again. You want to act in a movie? Shu didn't seem very happy this time. He always knew how complicated the entertainment industry was. His family didn't lack money, and he couldn't let his daughter go down that path, even if they liked it. No, I don't agree. Huamin rejected immediately. Me too. Shu was obviously on his wife's side this time. Listen to me. What I mean is that Little Bean and I are only guest stars, not the main characters. We want to act in the movie so that we can recreate the characters. This is the first movie I've invested in, and I have a feeling that it will be a hit. I want Little Bean and I to participate in it as a memento. It's really just a memento. Daddy, I don't like acting and I won't be an actress, let alone enter the entertainment industry. You and Mommy don't need to worry about this. Pudding promised. That's still not enough. Aren't you too conspicuous enough? I don't want more people to find out about you. Huamin said. The twins had been kidnapped twice, and it was Huamin's nightmare. How could he bear to let his daughters show up in public? Your mommy is right. You two should keep a low profile. Shu agreed with Huamin. Mommy, but I've already told the director. How can I break my promise to others? Pudding, how many more things do you want to do? Hwamin was a bit angry. No, this is the last one. I hope Daddy and Mommy can agree. Did Suyu agree to everything you did? Hwamin asked her. Yes. Handsome Su knows all about it. So you've already made up your mind, and now you're talking to us about it. Is this acting first and reporting later? Hwamin continued to question. No, I told Handsome Su that I'll discuss it with Daddy and Mommy when we get home. If you don't agree, I won't do it, even if I want to. With that, Pudding lowered her head in frustration. She knew that her strict mother wouldn't agree so easily, because in Mommy's eyes, these things were just nonsense. For a long time, Hwamin didn't say anything. He only sighed slightly. Mion, I know what you want to say. You want to say that our daughter is excellent and won't do anything stupid. As parents, we have to support her dreams. Hwamin glanced at Shu. Yes, I know that although you seem to have a lot of opinions on the surface, you actually think the same way. Mommy, please. I beg you. For the first time, Pudding spoke softly. She didn't even lower herself when she did or said something wrong. It was obvious that this child really wanted to do these things. Fine, if you want to do it, then do it. Mommy, you agree? Pudding looked up and asked excitedly. Yes, but I only have one request. You're still young and can't do anything stupid. Daddy will help you manage the company. Okay, for sure. Pudding smiled brightly. Okay, if that's the case, then go out. Don't disturb us. Shu smiled. Thank you, Daddy. Love you. Pudding quickly kissed Shu on the cheek and opened the door and ran out. You spoil your daughter too much. Hwamin looked at his husband with blame. Don't I spoil you? Shu asked back. Ah. Suddenly, Hwamin's expression changed. He covered his stomach with both hands and screamed. Chapter 32-34. What's wrong, Mion? Hwamion. Hwamion's sudden change in expression scared Shu. He just kicked me hard, Hwamin stammered. Ooh. Shu didn't know how to react. Your son, Shu. After a while, Shu finally realized what was going on and laughed heartily. That little bastard. When he comes out, I'll teach him a lesson. How dare he bully Mom? The kid is so naughty at such a young age. What's going to happen to him in the future? Hwamin held her stomach and laughed. She remembered that little bean and Pudding weren't this naughty. After dealing with Pudding, the couple took a shower and went to bed. In the middle of the night, Hwamin woke up from thirst. Her mother-in-law's dumplings were delicious, but they were a little salty. Hwamin got up to get a glass of water. When she opened her eyes, she vaguely saw Mr. Chin sitting on the sofa by the window. Honey, why are you awake? Shu turned around, surprised. I want to drink water. I'm thirsty. Okay, don't move. I'll get you some water. I want cold water. It's too cold. Pregnant women can't drink cold water. It'll irritate the stomach. Drink warm, okay? Okay. Seeing her husband so nervous, Hwamin didn't want to be stubborn. Shu got up and poured a big glass of water for Hwamin from the thermos flask. Then, he handed it to her. Honey, why aren't you asleep? After drinking the water, Hwamin put down the glass and asked Shu curiously. She looked at her phone and saw that it was already 1:30 in the morning. Why was her husband still sitting on the sofa by the window? What was going on? Oh, I'm not sleepy. I was thinking about the company. No matter how important the company's matters are, it's not as important as your health. You should rest quickly. You can't stay up late. As medical students, we should know how bad staying up late is for the body. It will affect the liver's detoxification. Yes, I got it, honey. Shu walked over in a good mood. He returned to the bed and hugged Hwamin. Hwamin turned over and fell asleep again in Shu's arms. On the other hand, Shu was still unable to fall asleep. After the operation, he no longer relied on drugs to sleep, so he still suffered from insomnia. Although Hwamin had returned safely, the knot in his heart couldn't be untied. He always felt that he could lose her at any time. He was very afraid. The more afraid he was, the more nervous he was. The more nervous he was, the more anxious he was. As a result, his brain kept working and he couldn't fall asleep at all. In fact, Shu had not been able to rest well these days. Sometimes, he could only take a nap when it was almost dawn. But because he hadn't had a good rest, his eyes were dry and sore. However, Huamin didn't know about this. He forbade others to tell Huamin about his illness. Midnight. After drinking with Shun Mingxi, Suyu called a driver to pick them up. To avoid troubling in, Suyu called a designated driver from the bar. On their way back, they parked the car and planned to go straight into the house. When they passed by a tent, Suyu glanced at it curiously. At this moment, the tent suddenly opened and Zheng Ro walked out of the bushes with blood dripping from her nose. You? Suyu, hurry up and take me to the hospital. My nose is bleeding. Zheng Ro covered her nose with her hand, but still couldn't stop the bleeding. Suyu was scared out of his wits. Chapter 32-35. Then what should we do? Suyu looked confused. How would I know? It's not something that can be solved with sanitary pads. Zheng Ro was speechless. I'll call 120 now. Suyu picked up his cell phone. Are you stupid? What if I die when the ambulance comes? Where's your Lamborghini? Isn't it fast? Hurry up and take me to the hospital. I don't want to die here. I haven't left any last words. Pooh, don't die. If you die in front of my house, how can I live in my house? I can't even sell it, Suyu said. Damn it. Don't you have any sympathy at a time like this? Zheng Ro was exasperated. Suyu looked at the woman and knew she wasn't faking it. So, he didn't dare to delay and sobered up a lot after drinking. So, he drove the Lamborghini out, hearing the roar of the engine, and woke up and ran out of the house. President Su, what's wrong? This woman's Aunt Flo is here, and was dumbfounded. No, I don't know what to say. This woman's Aunt Flo is here. Anyway, she's bleeding. I have to take her to the hospital. I'll go with you, and said. Okay, you drive the car out. Suyu didn't refuse. He drove Zheng Ro away as fast as lightning, and drove the BMW Z4 in the garage and followed behind Suyu. Suyu's house was close to the first hospital, but he didn't know if it was because of Huamin. Suyu chose to go to Southside. In the emergency room at Southside, Suyu waited anxiously. Please don't let anything happen to her. If something happens, I'll be the scapegoat. Suyu murmured to himself. I don't think so. I drank with her last night. She'll be fine, right? And wasn't sure. About 10 minutes later, the doctor on night duty walked out. Who's Zheng Ro's family member? I'm her friend. Are you her boyfriend? The female doctor didn't know Suyu. I'm not. Suyu didn't have time to explain. The doctor then asked her, You're not a good boyfriend either. Not only did you let your girlfriend drink so much alcohol, but you also ate so many lychees. Do you know that if you eat too much lychees, you'll have a bad nose? That's for sure. It's easy for a child's nasal cavity to accumulate heat. Will anything happen to her? She's fine. She's just too angry. I gave her an 4 drip. After the injection, she can go home tomorrow morning. Oh, that's good. Do you know how many lychees she ate? The doctor looked at Suyu angrily. Suyu shook his head. She said she ate more than a box, about 6 pounds. The doctor said, Air. Suyu truly did not know what to say at this moment. 6 kilograms. Was this woman still human? Huh. Did she say it herself? And asked the doctor. We asked her and gave her a vomit-inducing injection just now. She vomited a lot. Look at your boyfriend. Even if your girlfriend likes to eat lychees, you can't buy so many boxes of them. Isn't this cheating her? I didn't know she could eat so much. Suyu looked wronged. All right, go in and take a look at her. Young people these days are all foodies. They lose their lives when they see food. Your girlfriend is the same. She can be compared to the girl who fell into the well pipe because she was stunned when she saw food that day. The doctor sighed as she walked out. Suyu and him were speechless. President Su, go in and see her. I'll wait for you at the door. Suyu nodded and pushed open the door to the 4-drip bed next to the ER. Zheng Ro lay there quietly receiving the 4-drip. Fortunately, her nose had stopped bleeding. You ate 6 pounds of lychees? Suyu walked up to her and asked with a dark expression. Chapter 32-36. I didn't. The doctor told me. How dare you lie? Suyu's face was still cold. I didn't lie. The doctor didn't count everything correctly. I ate more than 6 pounds. It was 6 pounds and 6 ounces. Thank you. Su, why don't you stuff yourself to death? Suyu scolded. Huh, if I die, you won't be able to get away with it. The next day, the media will say that a certain woman covered for the crown prince of the Su family last night for unknown reasons. If the news gets out, people will have wild and fanciful thoughts. Don't bullshit me. Suyu was furious. Hey, I'm a patient. Can't you be gentler to me? Gentler? Do you think a woman like you deserves my gentler treatment? Let me ask you, are you a reincarnation of a starving ghost? Have you never eaten lychees? Did you come from a mountain valley? You ate 6 pounds at a time. Do you want to die? It was the first time in Suyu's life that he had met such a woman who couldn't finish anything she caught and ended up in the hospital. Fortunately, she was fine. If she really died, the 2 boxes of lychees he gave her would be the culprit. Huh, it's really too delicious. I can't help it. I've loved lychees since I was a child, but this is the first time I've eaten one so delicious. It's big and sweet, Zheng Rose said happily. Shut up. Get out of the hospital tomorrow and go back to your own home. Suyu, can you do it? What else can you do except drive me away? Are you afraid of me? Yes, I'm really afraid of you. Miss Zheng, please do me a favor. As the secretary's daughter, you can have any man. Can you stop being a dogskin plaster? Don't do things that disgust me. Suyu, I didn't mean to disgust you. Zheng Ro paused. But what? Suyu saw that she stopped talking halfway and was a little curious. I just want to say that you can treat me as a friend. I just want to stay here for a while. I won't cause you any trouble. I really want to see how you like Dr. Huh. Zheng Ro said the last few words in a very low voice, so Suyu didn't hear them clearly. If you leave, you won't bring me any trouble. Suyu, I didn't mean to disgust you. Really, let's just be friends, okay? I definitely won't clamor to be your wife, and I won't wear suspenders to seduce you. Even if you don't treat me as a woman, it's fine to treat me as a man. Don't chase me away. I'll pay for my own living expenses. I won't ask you for money, okay? Just treat it as if you're renting it to me, okay? Zheng Ro compromised again and again, seemingly trying to persuade Suyu. Zheng Ro, no matter what you want, I can't give it to you, Suyu said directly. I don't want anything. Can we just be friends? Don't think about me, and don't mess with Huamin. Really, I don't want the women around me to mess with Huamin because of me, Suyu warned her. Sure enough, you're deeply in love with her. Zheng Ro finally saw Suyu's persistence in his love. Zheng Ro hadn't met Huamin yet, but Suyu had warned her not to mess with Huamin. But the more he said this, the more Zheng Ro wanted to see Huamin. Suyu, I promise you that I won't mess with Huamin. I'm not a scheming bitch, a hypocrite, or a Virgin Mary. I'm just a normal person who knows how to cry, laugh, and fight. I promise I won't cause you any trouble. Just treat me as your nanny. Okay? I'll cook for you and clean your room. Okay? Zheng Ro seemed to have made up her mind to stay with Suyu. Her attitude changed, and she seemed to have returned to normal. Chapter 32-37. Why are you doing this? Suyu looked at her quietly. Hey, Suyu, I have a good idea. Your mother, Auntie Su, and your aunt have high hopes for us and think that we're a couple. Think about it. Even if you kick me out, your family will still find other girls to bother you. Instead of that, why don't you find someone you're familiar with? Hee. We can reach an agreement. I'll pretend to be your girlfriend, and then we'll stay out of each other's way. I'll chat on WeChat and meet online friends, and you'll stay out of each other's way. You can bring a girl home for the night. You can have dinner with Dr. Hua, and I won't ask you about it. I can be your nominal girlfriend and save you a lot of trouble, okay? Zheng Ro's eyes lit up, and she asked, Sounds good. It's good for me. What about you? What do you want? Suyu stared at Zheng Ro and asked, To be honest, my dad has been forcing me to get engaged recently. He's been introducing me to a lot of boyfriends. In order to flatter my dad, they can't wait to introduce me to 8 boyfriends a day. I don't like those rich playboys, straight-A students, local tycoons, or second-generation officials. I think we can use this as an excuse to live a few more years of freedom. Wouldn't that be great? Zheng Ro didn't look like she was faking it. Suyu hesitated. Don't worry. I won't fall in love with you. You're too fierce and not at all gentlemanly. Yelling at women is not my cup of tea. Zheng Ro added. Suyu was exasperated. Do you watch TV? You know an Aiyang, right? He's my type. He's handsome and kind, but unfortunately, he's already married. I heard he found a nurse, so I'll pay attention to the male artists in your company when I'm free. Haha, I've always wanted to find a celebrity boyfriend. Okay, so you thought this girl was crazy and might be a diehard fan who liked to chase after celebrities. But no matter what, Suyu was relieved that Zheng Ro stopped pestering him. Then you won't turn into a dachshund plaster again, right? Suyu asked her. No, we won't interfere with each other, and I won't spend a single cent of your money. Money is a small matter. Just don't interfere with my business and don't talk nonsense to my friends. Of course. And don't talk nonsense to the media. I'll delete it on Weibo right away, Zheng Ro promised. And don't find trouble with Huamin. Fuck, you're so slow. Didn't I just say it? I'm not deaf. Zheng Ro was impatient. All right, remember what you said. So you agree? Zheng Ro was delighted. Well, you can stay here for the time being, but if you cause me any trouble, I'll kick you out immediately. Okay. Thank you for taking me in, President Su. Zheng Ro smiled. Because of her sudden hospitalization, Zheng Ro took the opportunity to get close to Suyu. At least, Suyu accepted her proposal, walking out of the room, and immediately came up to him. President Su, how's Miss Zheng? You care about her? Why don't you ask her yourself? And President Su, I think Miss Zheng is a good person. She's not as bad as we thought. When he drank with Zheng Ro, he found this girl was just a girl who had been hurt by love and wasn't a scheming person. I didn't say she was bad. Suyu corrected him. So you've accepted Miss Zheng? And thought his boss was being protective of her. Chapter 32-38. Accept my ass, and seeing his boss's attitude, and didn't dare to say anything more. But from that day on, Zheng Ro's relationship with Suyu changed a little. At least it wasn't as hostile as before. Of course, and didn't know that his boss and Zheng Ro had reached an agreement. With Suyu's acquiescence, Zheng Ro didn't live in the tent anymore. She moved into the mansion the day after she was discharged. She lived on the guest floor, and lived on the first floor. Zheng Ro lived on the second floor, and Suyu lived on the third floor. Each of them lived on one floor. Fortunately, Zheng Ro was a person who kept her promise. She deleted all the posts on Weibo. She deleted all the comments from her fans and even stopped the live stream. She became normal again. Sometimes, when she was in a good mood, she would make supper for Suyu, and Suyu rarely ate. And was the only one who would take a few bites sometimes because he couldn't bring himself to eat. After Huamin came back, he was on leave. He planned to go back to work at Southside in a few days. Otherwise, he would get moldy at home. The twins were too bored at home. So in the end, Qin Chu and Huamian agreed to send them to an international school. They went straight to elementary school. Although they had finished the elementary school curriculum, Pudding wanted to go directly to middle school. However, Huamin thought that middle school kids were too young and it would be inconvenient for them to go to middle school. So, he didn't agree. Helpless, they didn't dare to disobey their mommy. Thus, they started their elementary school life. They went in the morning and came back in the afternoon. They had Saturday and Sunday off. It wasn't bad. One day, Huamin returned to Sky Blessing Court with his chauffeur and bodyguards. Yang Meiyerong was so happy that she couldn't close her mouth. She made a table full of delicious food for Huamin. Let's wait for Jixin to come back and eat together, Huamin said. Why wait for him? You eat first if you're hungry. Yang Meiyerong was worried that her pregnant daughter would be hungry. Huamin held his mother's arm and said coquettishly, It doesn't matter, even if I'm hungry. Mom? Let's wait for a while. Yang Meiyerong was deeply moved that she had regained her daughter. After Hua Min's accident, she really had nightmares. She didn't dare to close her eyes for many days. Whenever she thought that her daughter might have died after falling off the cliff, she would burst into tears. Now, looking at the pregnant Huamin, she felt as if a lifetime had passed. Mian, It's not easy to have a good life now. You have to live well with Qin Shu. Mom, I've been working hard. I've already given birth to 2 children for him. The third is coming soon, Huamin said with a smile. I know, you're all still young. I'm just afraid. If there's any change, it'll ruin the good days we have now. Mom, what do you mean by change? Huamin asked tentatively. Yang Meirong placed her hand on the back of her daughter's hand and said meaningfully, they say that marriage is the grave of love. No matter how loving a couple is, after the 7-year itch, they will feel that life is like a pool of stagnant water without passion. The feeling between husband and wife will be like the left hand and the right hand. So, you have to be more careful at this time. Be careful that something happens to Chu outside. You also have to be careful of your own feelings. Don't forget your original intentions. Qin Chu won't, and neither will I, Huamin promised. Mian, Suyu hasn't had a girlfriend for so long. Does it have something to do with you? Yang Meirong asked. Mom, why are you suddenly bringing this up? I'm not being nosy, but the last time I went to your house, your mother-in-law happened to talk to me about this. I don't know if she did it on purpose or not, but I think, especially since you're pregnant now, it's better for you not to be too close to Suyu. You're now a wife and a mother of children. You have to avoid suspicion. Otherwise, I can introduce someone to him. I think your Auntie Gung's Yameng is a good choice. She's a flight attendant and is pretty. Maybe Suyu will like her? Yang Meirong said to Huamin. Chapter 32-39. Mom, why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Huamin was speechless. I'm doing this for your own good. If Suyu got married, he'd be able to shut everyone up. But now, he's not looking for a girlfriend. Plus, he cares so much about you that even Pudding and Little Bean know about it. You can't go on like this. Qin Chu doesn't talk much and thinks a lot. He won't tell you if he's unhappy, but you have to be careful. Okay, Mom, don't talk about it. I've known Suyu for years. I know what kind of person he is. Qin Chu and I are even more so. We've been together since high school. We know each other too well. So, don't listen to the rumors. You're such a child, huh? Sis, you're back. When Jixin opened the door, he saw Huamin and his mother sitting in the living room. You're back just in time. Your sister was waiting for you to come back to eat. Sis, you love me that much. I've always loved you. Huamin smiled. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Jixin pouted cutely. You're in such a good mood. Did something good happen? Huamin could tell that his little brother was different today. Oh yeah, our Dr. Hua is so smart. He's Vice Director Hua now. Huamin corrected him. Ha, good. Our Vice Principal Hua is smart and quick-witted. Everyone loves her. Don't flatter me. What happened? I'll tell you later. Jixin said mysteriously. He took off his jacket and hummed Little Apple's song. Seeing that her children were back, Yang Meirong brought out the dishes one after another. Sis, why aren't Pudding and Little Bean here? They're still in piano class. Oh, why did you suddenly come back today? You didn't even send me a WeChat message. What? Do I have to inform you when I'm going back to my parents' home? Huamin was amused. Look at what you're saying. I miss you. Knowing that you're at home, I bought more fruits. Mom is usually very thrifty. Even when I give her pocket money, she can't bear to buy good fruits. She actually bought discounted grapes for me. It's good enough to have something to eat. If it were back when we were young, we wouldn't even have radishes to eat. Yang Meirong interjected. Okay, let's stop here, haha. To prevent his mother from going on another long speech, Jixin quickly stopped talking. Okay, let's eat. Jixin washed his hands and sat down next to Huamin. Sister, eat more meat. You should eat more and give birth to a fat little boy. Huh, did you put honey on your mouth today? Huamin looked at his younger brother. I've always been this sweet. Don't you think your little brother is a warm guy? I can't tell that you're warm, but you're a little bigger. You've indeed grown a lot taller, Huamin teased. Huh, sis, can you be a little more serious? What's the good news? Hurry up and tell us. Mom and I are waiting. Huamin was worried about Jixin's good news. In fact, she had already guessed what it was. This was because Jixin was a relatively innocent boy. His world was very simple. He had a few friends, a good relationship with his colleagues, and only liked one girl. He didn't mess around. In fact, many girls at GK were interested in him. After all, as the president's brother-in-law, he was very popular. However, the good thing was that Jishin's relationship with women was very decent, which made Huamin worry a lot less. Mom, sis, Bella, and we talked about it. We want to get engaged soon. Engaged? Yang Meiyurong froze. Why engagement? Why not marriage? Huamin thought that since Jishin and Bella weren't young anymore, marriage was a matter of time. Chapter 3240. Bella thinks I'm not mature enough, so she wants to give us a trial period. I was the one who suggested the engagement, and I mentioned it many times before she finally agreed. I think our colleagues at GK have been gossiping about us for a long time, and the engagement is to give Bella a legitimate identity. Not bad. I'm happy that you think this way. You're becoming more and more responsible. Huamin smiled. Son, does Bella's family have any requests? According to our customs, they have to pay 88,000 yuan for an engagement, right? The Qin family gave your sister a lot of money back then, so we can't treat Bella badly. Yang Meiyurong had seen Bella many times and was very satisfied with the girl, even though she was a little older than her son. However, because of her maturity and stability, Jishin would be more reliable in dealing with people in the future. Plus, Bella was someone that even Huamian couldn't stop praising. She was a senior employee at GK, so the two of them were a good match. After they got together, Qin Chu and Huamin were able to take care of everything at GK when they weren't home. Mom, Bella didn't marry me for money. Can you not be so tacky? Jishin looked at his mother and smiled. What does this have to do with being tacky? This is the custom of our place. Even if we don't have money now, we can't mistreat the girl. Her parents worked hard to raise her. Although it's just an engagement and not a marriage, it's still your decision. Whoa, Mom, you're very mature now. Jishin narrowed his eyes. Go away. Don't play games with me. Mian, what do you think? Yang Meiyurong looked at her daughter beside her. I don't have a problem with it. They can do whatever they want. What did Bella say? Did she have any requests? Huamin asked. Bella said to keep it as low-key as possible. She doesn't want everyone to know. That's like her style. So, sis, I want to hold a simple wedding in our own hotel. We'll invite our own people. Sound good? Will brother-in-law agree? Jishin asked. Your brother-in-law has always been very open-minded. But wouldn't it be unfair for Bella to do this? Huamin said. Sis, I bought her a 1-carat ring. Although it's not very big, it's very luxurious. But that's the money I saved up after I started working. I didn't rely on you and brother-in-law. Since I'm planning to find a wife, I must have the ability to support a family. You and brother-in-law have taken care of me over the years, and I can't always rely on you guys. Look at Anyang. He's about the same age as me, but he's already shouldering the responsibility of taking care of the whole family. I'm also in charge of many affairs in the company now, so I can't be as childish and willful as before. Oh, my little brother has grown up. Not bad, Jing Jishin. Huamin looked at his little brother with gratification. Actually, I've always followed the rules. It's just that I haven't done much. I know that if I wasn't your little brother, I wouldn't even be qualified to be a senior executive at a company like GK. After your accident, I thought a lot about it. I even thought that if something really happened to you, I would take care of Mom, Pudding, and Little Bean. Pooh, what nonsense are you talking about? Yang Meiyurong was anxious. Mom, I was just making an analogy. I only found out later that you've helped me a lot over the years. I can't let you worry about me alone anymore. I'm a man, and I want to start a family as soon as possible. Then I can help you and brother-in-law do more and share more of their work. Not bad. It's good that you have this awareness. Have you picked a date for your engagement? Huamin took a sip of his juice and asked Jishin. Chapter 3241. Hee. We don't believe in auspicious dates. We think next Sunday is good. Next Sunday, let me see. Huamin lowered his head and took out his phone. He opened his calendar and saw that it was the 16th of the lunar calendar. Not bad. It's good. Next Sunday it is. I'll pick out the dishes from the hotel. Sis, Just eat whatever you like. It's an engagement party. How can that be? No matter how shabby it is, we can't just eat whatever we want at my brother's engagement party. Leave it to me. Even if we're treating our own employees, we have to eat and drink well. Huh, okay then. Thank you, sis. Don't mention it. Just do your job. Of course. Hwamin was in a good mood when he heard that Jishin was getting engaged. He ate 2 bowls of rice with a big appetite. After dinner, she lazily sat on the sofa and watched TV. Their mother went to the kitchen to clean up. Jishin gave Hwamin some fruit and even cut it into pieces and put on the coffee table. Sis, MHM, how do you feel now? Is the boy still naughty in your belly? How do you know it's a boy? Hwamin picked up a grape and looked at Jishin. Huh, Little Bean told me. I'm so happy. You're also so biased. Hwamin looked at Jishin with disdain. Who said that? I don't favor boys over girls, okay? I also like Little Bean and Pudding very much. It's just that I think that since you already have 2 daughters, isn't it just right for you to give birth to a boy? Plus, when he grows up, I can take him to play soccer, take a shower, play games, and pick up girls. Haha, you're his uncle, but you don't teach your nephew good things. These are the experiences of a boy growing up. Haha, I read a story recently and suddenly felt that it's very realistic. What story? Hwamin leaned his head on Jishin's shoulder and acted like a spoiled child. She suddenly lamented how time had passed so quickly. When she was in high school, Jishin was still a young boy. Now, in the blink of an eye, he was about to get engaged. Time was really the most ruthless thing. It was the rhythm of aging people in minutes. It's said that there are 2 men. The production team will give each of them 2,000 yuan to pick up girls. Whoever succeeds in sleeping with the girl will be the winner. The winner will also get an additional 5,000 yuan as a reward. And then, Hwamin was suddenly very curious. He felt that this story was quite interesting. The first guy was more honest. He used 1,500 yuan to buy a phone for the girl and used the remaining 500 yuan to treat the girl to a meal. After the meal, the girl took the 1,500 yuan phone, said thank you, and left. In the end, the mission was considered a failure. What about the second guy? Hwamin asked again. The second guy was more ruthless. He spent 1,500 yuan to rent a BMW and used the remaining 500 yuan to buy a Chanel lipstick for the girl for 320 yuan. He also told the girl to wear this color on dates in the future, saying that he likes sexy women. In the end, he used 180 yuan to treat the girl to dumplings. He said that he liked dumplings since he was young, especially when his mother made them. The girl saw him and thought that he was a rich second-generation heir. He knew how to buy luxury lipstick and was very tasteful. Then, he liked his mother's dumplings and was very filial and polite. Without saying anything, she got in the car with him. Wow, the second guy is so smart. Hwamin was also a bit surprised. People were getting more and more cunning these days. Yeah, there's a saying on the internet, the longest road I've ever walked is the route you gave me, Jishin said. Haha, classic. Hwamin chuckled. Sis, if big brother Suyu and brother-in-law met you at the same time, would you still choose brother-in-law without hesitation? Chapter 3242. What's wrong with you guys? Why are you all talking about Suyu? No, I'm just asking. I'm not asking. Your assumption doesn't make sense, so I won't answer, Hwamin said vaguely and didn't ask further. Okay. It's late. I have to go back. I'll drive you, sis. No, I'll bring a driver and bodyguard. Ha, sis, you're even more popular than the market. Go away. Don't tease me. I'll take care of your engagement dress. Okay. Vice Director Hua, I'll leave it to you. Jishin looked at his sister happily. With a smile, Hwamin got up with his bag, said goodbye to his mother, and walked back. In Suyu's private mansion, Zheng Ro, get out here, Suyu roared at the door of the guest room on the second floor. What's wrong? Zheng Ro got up sleepily and opened the door. Is this yours? Suyu was furious with a pile of underwear in his hand. Yeah, I'm the only girl in the house. If it's not mine, then is it yours? Who told you to dry your underwear on the balcony? Where else can I put it? Don't you know underwear needs to be exposed to the sun to remove bacteria? You know there are always paparazzi and paparazzi at my door, but you still did it on purpose. Don't you know how nasty the posts are? But we're just acting as a couple. If they want to talk about it, then let them, but you don't have to do such a disgusting thing. Why is it disgusting to dry my underwear? Do you wear your underwear after washing them? Zheng Ro retorted. Suyu, young Master Su, you're so generous. You don't even wash your underwear. You change one every day and throw it away after wearing it. You don't wash it at all. What nonsense are you spouting? That's how it is. I'm not looking for trouble with you anymore, so you shouldn't look for trouble with me either. To be honest, if you weren't from the Su family, you'd have been beaten to a pulp the entire day. Suyu, even is better than you. Then, Zheng Ro slammed the door shut. Hey, you woman. Suyu was about to explode. President Su, we should go now. We'll be late, and reminded him. You fucking came at the right time. You're helping this woman on purpose, aren't you? Suyu looked at Xiao and boss, you can't be like this. You can't vent your anger on me just because you can't win an argument. Xiao felt wronged. In the end, Suyu turned around angrily and walked out. Then he got into the car. President Su, Miss Hua means younger brother's engagement party this week. Are you going? Engagement party? Who's going? Suyu didn't seem to know. Miss Hua means younger brother, Mr. Jing Jixin's engagement party. Jixin is getting engaged, don't you know? Xiaoan looked at Suyu in surprise. How would I know? How did you know? I saw Jing Jixin's WeChat moments. When did you see his WeChat moments? Suyu was dumbfounded. A long time ago. Let me see it. Before he could speak, Suyu snatched the phone from him. He opened his WeChat moments and refreshed it. Jixin sent a sweet photo of him and Bella. It said, Bella and I will be getting engaged at GK headquarters GK Hotel next weekend. I'll treat everyone to a glass of wine. Damn, this guy is so low-key. I thought you knew. And said, Humin didn't tell me. That damn girl. Suyu was instantly filled with resentment toward Humin. Maybe Miss Wood didn't plan to treat you? And teased his boss. Chapter 3243. Don't bullshit. Humin won't do that. So you seem to have absolute trust in Humin. President Su, how much are you planning to give as a wedding gift? It's so vulgar to talk about money. Jixin doesn't seem like he's short of money. You can't go empty-handed, right? So you rubbed his chin and thought about it seriously. Then he asked him, what do you think of my modified Ford Mustang? It was a sports car that Suyu had carefully modified. Anyone who knew cars would fall in love with it at first sight. It was powerful, beautiful, and looked extremely cool. Just like the name of the car, it looked like a wild horse. You're not thinking of giving the Mustang to him, are you? What? Do you think it's not good enough? So you asked, and no, I just think it's too extravagant. It makes me want to be Miss Hua's little brother, and said quietly, Haha, when you get married, I'll give you a Ferrari. Suyu patted him on the shoulder. After knowing about this, Suyu felt like grass had grown in his heart. So, after the morning meeting, he went back to his office and sent Humin a WeChat message. I heard that Jixin is getting engaged? Oh, you're quite well informed, Humin replied. Then you see, but you're too heartless. You didn't even tell me. Why did I have to rush over to ask you? Are you trying to pick a fight with me? I didn't have time to tell you, right? I went to bed early last night. I didn't even have time to discuss it with my husband. This morning, I got up early to prepare the dishes and clothes for Jixin's engagement. Is that guy really going to get engaged to that female employee of the company? What, you're not satisfied? What's there to be unhappy about? I'm not the one getting engaged, huh? You've been so proud of yourself recently. You even hung your underwear on the balcony. Suyu, good job. I didn't know you had such a heavy taste. Humin laughed. Shoo, don't talk nonsense. Don't listen to the media's nonsense. You've already taken the photo, and you're still saying that he's spouting nonsense? Then tell me, is the underwear yours or Anne's? Humin's question left Suyu speechless. Haha, all right, I'm just teasing you. But if you really have a girlfriend, don't hide it, okay? We've known each other for so many years. Bring her over for us to see. Okay, I'll take her there when Jixin gets engaged. Suyu agreed without hesitation. In fact, Suyu had his own plan. He thought he would take Zheng Ro out with him. Then, everyone would know that he had a girlfriend. When he met and talked to Huamin, no one would be suspicious, and it would not affect Huamin negatively. Although he knew that this idea was still a bit wrong, so you couldn't control this little thought. That's great. Keep your word. Of course. When have I ever lied to you? Okay. Come early on Sunday and help us with the preparations. Okay. Brazil. After dealing with her enemies, Lu Yin didn't leave immediately. Instead, she stayed in Brazil for a few days, eating, drinking, and having fun. Her skin was tanned, and when she was in a good mood, she would even dance a samba when she was slightly drunk. Boss, how long are we going to stay in Brazil? I heard that Ian's people are already here. No hurry. I haven't had enough fun yet. Sitting on the cruise ship, Lu Yin held a glass of red wine in her hand and enjoyed the sea breeze. Amy, yeah, tell me, is there anything in the world that women can't share? Lu Yin suddenly asked her only female subordinate this strange question. Amy's expression changed slightly, and then she looked up to observe Lu Yan's expression. Chapter 3244. My subordinate is stupid and doesn't know. Amy lowered her head and said cautiously. Lu Yin tilted her head and gave her a meaningful look before she continued. I heard that for women, there are two things in the world that they can't share, toothbrushes and men. Oh, Amy nodded and pretended she didn't understand. But I'm a generous person. If I treat you well and you treat me well, I don't mind sharing toothbrushes with you. But if it's a man, do you mind? Lu Yin asked Amy. I don't know what you mean. Don't be nervous. I'm just asking. Do you mind sharing a man with your best friend? I've never been in a relationship. I don't know how to answer you. It's just a hypothetical question. Don't take it seriously. I don't think so. After all, love itself is selfish. Everyone wants their man to belong to them alone. No matter if it's a man or a woman, they should mind it, unless they're psychopaths. Well said, I think so too. If you're my friend, I can give you money if you don't have it. If you don't have a weapon, I can also give it to you. When you need me, I'll be duty-bound. But if you steal my man behind my back, then I'm sorry, I might kill her. You're right, Amy answered absent-mindedly. Did you order dinner? Lu Yin changed the topic. Yeah, I told the kitchen to prepare it. Do you want it delivered to your room, or do you want to eat there? I'll go. Lu Yin stood up. Go and ask Xiao Fei to come with me. I'll wait for him over there. Okay. Amy was excited to hear Xiao Fei's name. Ignoring Lu Yan's subtle expression, she turned and ran to the next room. Lu Yan stood up and changed into a simple dress. Then she went to the revolving restaurant on the top floor. The famous Michelin chef only served her. Lu Yan was extremely picky when it came to food. She could even tell how long the fish had been dead for. If she wasn't picky, she would eat roasted sweet potatoes by the roadside. Therefore, whether the food was good or bad depended on her mood. Young Master Qiao. Amy knocked on the door and called Xiao Fei's name. What's up? Boss wants you to have dinner on the top floor. What about her? She went first. All right. Xiao Fei turned around and walked over. Amy followed behind him cautiously. Ever since Xiao Fei got together with Lu Yin, he had been living a life of luxury. To outsiders, he really looked like Lu Yan's toy boy. But Amy knew that wasn't the case. Xiao Fei's family was extremely large, and he lived like a prince in his family. Ever since she married Lu Yin, she didn't have a fixed place to stay. Every day, she had to face assassinations from enemies. Many times, if it weren't for Xiao Fei, Lu Yin wouldn't have been able to escape. She said Lu Yin was outstanding because she didn't know Xiao Fei well. Xiao Fei's marksmanship and combat skills were cool. Amy had seen Xiao Fei kill people many times, not to mention his clean and neat moves. His posture was perfect and gentlemanly. His brutality came from the depths of his heart, a kind of coldness that made people's hearts turn cold. For a man like him to love Lu Yin so deeply, Amy thought Lu Yin wasn't good enough for Xiao Fei. After all, she always ordered Xiao Fei around like a servant. She didn't deserve his love. Young Master Qiao. Amy suddenly called out from behind him. Chapter 32:45. Xiao Fei stopped walking in the empty corridor. Only the two of them stood there. Xiao Fei didn't answer. He was extremely annoyed by Amy. Young Master Qiao, when I was on a mission in Japan, I got this from the Abe Saimai Shrine in Kyoto. He's a famous Onmyoji. He'll bless you with health and safety for the rest of your life. Take it with you, and it'll always bless you. Amy handed over a cute amulet with both hands. It was red, a typical Japanese amulet. Xiao Fei glanced at it, but didn't take it. What do you mean by this? Xiao Fei asked quietly. I don't mean anything. Amy was a bit flustered. She had never been in a relationship before and didn't know how to get along with guys. Luyan didn't allow her subordinates to date her own people, so she kept a distance from the men on her side. It wasn't until Xiao Fei's appearance that her maiden heart was stirred. So, everyone has this amulet? Xiao Fei asked. No. Does Luyan have one? Xiao Fei asked directly. Boss doesn't have one either. Amy bit her lips and told him the truth. Ha, then what do you mean? Xiao Fei sneered. Young Master Qiao, I just want you to be safe. Me. Ever since you gave me this amulet, you're no longer innocent. Why do you have to explain yourself? Okay, that's enough. It's useless to say more. I won't accept this. Don't give it to me again. Know your place. Since you've been with Lu Yin for a long time, I'll pretend this never happened. Remember, you won't die if you don't ask for it. With that, Xiao Fei continued to walk forward without looking back. He didn't even look at me from beginning to end. Xiao Fei was such a cold person. In terms of category, he was in the same category as Rick and Qin Shu. If there's a name for this category, it would probably be the cold and aloof type. They were so cold that you would shiver on a hot day. Amy took back the amulet awkwardly. She knew Xiao Fei wasn't easy to deal with, but she still had a glimmer of hope in her heart. Sometimes she even dreamed of Xiao Fei holding her gently. In the restaurant. When are we leaving Brazil? Xiao Fei asked. Why are you in such a hurry? Lu Yin lowered her head and cut the steak nonchalantly. It's hot here and the environment is terrible, Xiao Fei complained. It's cool in the South Pole. Do you want me to book a plane ticket for you? Lu Yin asked. Will you die if you don't argue with me? Xiao Fei was speechless. This woman was never as gentle as others. I won't die, but I'll be bored, so why don't I bicker? It's strange that you didn't come back this time. I thought you'd miss Sister Mian a lot. Don't use my sister to seduce me. I'm just telling the truth. Xiao Fei shrugged. I want my sister to have a better life, so I still have a lot of things to do. For example, Xiao Fei looked at this exquisite yet perverted woman with a question mark. Guess. Lu Yin smirked. Are you going to blow up Ian's nest again? Xiao Fei didn't think it was possible for Lu Yin to be so calm. No, you guessed wrong this time. So your plan is? My plan is... Lu Yin was about to say something when she looked at her subordinates, standing in a row behind her with a complicated expression. Chapter 32:46. Forget it. You won't understand my plan even if I tell you. Lu Yin didn't want to talk about it. Xiao Fei didn't want to ask more questions. They slowly ate the steak and drank the red wine. The last soup is ready, the chef said as he placed 2 bowls of soup on the table. Drink it while it's hot, the chef said in perfect English. Xiao Fei and Lu Yin glanced at their respective soups and exchanged an unfathomable look. Lu Yin smiled and looked back at the chef. Are you the head chef here? Yes. Did you make this soup yourself? Lu Yin asked again. Yes. I promise it's delicious. Really? But I don't trust people's words. Why don't you take a sip and let me see? Lu Yin looked at him with a smile. The head chef's expression changed drastically when he heard her words. Come on, drink this bowl. I'll give you $10,000 as a tip. Lu Yin stood up with the bowl of soup and walked up to the head chef. The head chef stepped back. He turned around and was about to run when 2 of Lu Yin's men grabbed his shoulders tightly. Why would you run? Isn't it a good thing to let you drink the soup for free? Lu Yin continued to smile. Then, Lu Yin pried open the head chef's mouth and poured the soup in his mouth. That person was beaten to death, but refused to drink. He struggled fiercely and refused to open his mouth. Seeing Lu Yan was about to get serious, he shouted in English, "There's poison in the soup. It'll kill you." Hee hee. Really? If that's the case, why did you give it to us? I remember we didn't know each other before. We don't have any grudges against each other, right? Did they kill your whole family? Lu Yan asked. I'm just following orders. The head chef lowered his head and shivered in fear. Whoa, tell me, who do you take orders from? Lu Yan smiled. Boss, how did you know there was poison in the soup? Is the steak okay? One of Lu Yan's men was scared, thinking his boss had been poisoned. That's how smart they are. If they poisoned me at the beginning, I would be prepared. They waited until I was almost done with the soup before they poisoned it. Then how did you know the soup was poisoned? Are you an idiot? My father and my mother were famous medical geniuses in the world at that time. When I was 5 years old, I already knew thousands of medicinal herbs. Whether it was Chinese or Western medicine, I knew them like the back of my hand. Although I didn't study medicine in the end and chose to develop explosives, I could still ask about the taste of many medicinal herbs. Someone put snake gall grass in the soup and mixed it with a catalyst that accelerates the release of poison. It was buried by the smell of the soup, but I can still smell the snake gall. When I was young, I ate a lot of snake galls. My father didn't teach me anything else, but he did teach me this. That was close. His subordinates broke out in cold sweat after hearing what he said. That's not right. Boss, it's natural for you to smell it. Why is young Master Chow on guard as well? Lu Yan's subordinate didn't know how Chow Fei knew there was something wrong with it. I noticed that the head chef's expression was a little unnatural when he served us the soup. His little finger was shaking slightly, so I was a little suspicious. After seeing Yan's eyes, I roughly understood. Chow Fei didn't want to explain. Not all of Lu Yan's subordinates were so smart. Lu Yan picked up the fork she had used to eat the steak and walked to the head chef. So, do you want to tell me who ordered you, or do you want me to stab more than 100 holes in your body with this thing? Lu Yan asked. Chapter 32:47. Don't do that. I'll tell you. The man was scared by Lu Yan's words. Go ahead. Lu Yan was impatient, and her good mood for dinner was ruined by him. One of the security guards downstairs threatened me to do it. He said he would shoot me if I didn't do it. Bullshit. How can a security guard do that? One of Lu Yan's men slapped the head chef in the face, making him see stars. He might not be lying. After all, those people could have pretended to be security guards, Lu Yan said. What's the security guard's name? Which floor is he on? Do you remember? Yes. He's a tall white man. He's about 2 meters tall and has a scar at the corner of his eye. Go and check it out. Yes, boss. Her men turned and went downstairs. Boss, I'll kill this guy for you. Amy walked over and took out a dagger, ready to kill the head chef. No, I still need this guy. Lu Yan stopped Amy. Amy was slightly surprised and looked a bit embarrassed. No one knew what Lu Yan was thinking. Except for Chow Fei, no one really knew Lu Yan. In China, in Tang Chuan's house. Honey, are you really leaving? Yeah. Then I want to go with you. Tang Chuan was reluctant to leave. He hugged Qi Ning's waist from behind and began to stick to her. My dad only bought tickets for him and me. My father-in-law did it on purpose. No wonder people say father-in-law and son-in-law are natural enemies. He's ruthless. Tang Chuan sighed. Bullshit. Don't insult my dad. I'm going back to hand over my job and resign. My dad already agreed to let me be with you. What else do you want? How long will it take? Tang Chuan rubbed Qi Ning's neck with the tip of his nose. It tickled her, and she couldn't stop laughing. Hey, stop it. It's really ticklish. It should be quick this time. I'll be back in about 10 days. What? 10 days? No, it's too long, Tang Chuan protested. Please, it's only 10 days. If I don't see you for 10 days, I'll miss you to death. You can video call me. There's a time difference between us, okay? One day and the other night. It's impossible for us to video call every day. Don't even think about coaxing me. Huh, I'm not lying to you. I'm serious. That won't do. You've been gone for so long this time. You have to give me some benefits. What do you mean? Qi Ning, play dumb. Little girl, don't play dumb with me. What do you think? Then, Tang Chuan's hands, which were originally around Qi Ning's waist, slid into her short-sleeved shirt. From the bottom to the top, he groped around. "Hey, Tang Chuan, stop it. Little Ning Qin, you're about to leave me alone for 10 days. Can't you give me a consolation reward? You're too heartless." I. Looking at the pitiful Tang Chuan, Qi Ning felt like she was in the wrong. "Actually, I should have devoured you before you left, lest something bad happens," Lin Fan mumbled. Then, Tang Chuan pushed Qi Ning hard. Without any warning, Qi Ning fell onto the floor behind her. "Ah!" Before she could scream, Tang Chuan pressed his entire body against hers and kissed her like a storm. Qi Ning, who had never done anything between a man and a woman, was instantly mesmerized. "Tang Chuan, don't talk. Feel it with your heart." Tang Chuan sealed her mouth. Chapter 3248. Tang Chuan's love for Qi Ning was like two kids playing house, the kind of feelings they had when they were in kindergarten. Was it childish? No, it was very innocent. It wasn't utilitarian or scheming. Both of them came from rich families, and Tang Chuan had seen countless beauties. There were even many socialites on WeChat who were prettier than Qi Ning. However, he was still only willing to like Qi Ning. Perhaps this was really love. Pursuing Qi Ning didn't go smoothly. However, the more difficult it was, the more Tang Chuan cherished it. Ever since the two of them got together in a high-profile manner, they didn't seem to be separated for long. This time, Qi Ning went back to resign. Tang Chuan was reluctant. He originally wanted to follow her, but there were a lot of things to do in China. Tang Chuan's company had recently been integrated, and one of its subsidiaries had been listed. Coincidentally, Tang Chuan's father was so tired that he had a heart attack and was hospitalized. Therefore, he had a lot of things to do, big and small. He was no longer the young master who ate, drank, and played. His feelings for Qi Ning had been there for a long time, but he was always a little bit off. This time, he really couldn't wait. There was nothing in his mind, and he didn't even plan anything. A long time ago, he still thought that his first time with Qi Ning must be romantic. It would either be camping at the top of a mountain full of stars, or looking at the sea at night, or looking at the colorful Ferris wheel at the top of the Ferris wheel, or in the middle of a snowy night. He would kneel on one knee and confess to her affectionately with the white snow. However, plans were always faster than changes. Many things were unexpected. Just like that, suddenly he wanted to have a taste of this little girl before she left, but he couldn't stop. What made him collapse was that Qi Ning didn't resist. The girl just closed her eyes in a daze. It was as if she knew what was going to happen today. "Ning, I can't help it." Tang Chuan's breathing was a little rapid, and even his heart was beating faster. He was an inexperienced teenager, but this time he was acting so childish and even cute. Then, "Up to you," Qi Ning said shyly in a low voice. Tang Chuan was ecstatic when he heard this. He kissed her little mouth again and again. "If that's what you want, I won't stand on ceremony then." What followed was another violent storm. An hour later, "Tang Chuan, get the hell out of here. It hurts. It really hurts. It'll be fine in a while. I promise that it won't hurt, and there will be a pleasant surprise." "Surprise my ass. Get off my body. I don't want to do it anymore." Qi Ning didn't expect it to be so painful. It seemed like the AV was all a lie. Those female leads who looked like they were about to die. Could it be that they were all acting? Tang Chuan was so anxious that he was sweating profusely. Who would have thought that when things were going so smoothly, this girl would suddenly go back on her word now? He couldn't go in or out. It was so awkward. "Can't you hear me?" Qi Ning was in so much pain that tears came out of her eyes. "I heard you. If you don't go down, I'll die," Qi Ning said with tears in her eyes. "But if I go down now, I'll die too." Tang Chuan was also in a dilemma. You're a pervert. I'll be gentler, okay? Please don't yell," Tang Chuan said and moved a little. Qi Ning's heart was about to break down, but she also knew that there was no turning back now. She could only grit her teeth and bear with it. Half an hour later, "Tang Chuan, are you even human? Are you on drugs?" Qi Ning looked like she had nothing left to live for. Chapter 3249. Don't you think your husband is mighty and has great stamina? Get off me. Damn you. Qi Ning really regretted finding such an animal. Didn't other people finish in 3 to 5 minutes? Why was this guy still not done after more than an hour? Although it counted as foreplay, but perhaps it was because he saw that Qi Ning couldn't take it. But in the end, Mr. Tang felt sorry for her and hurriedly ended it. The two of them both collapsed on the bed after Tang Chuan immediately pulled the blanket over and covered Qi Ning with it. He was afraid that the air conditioner would blow on her stomach. This was really considerate. Then, before Qi Ning could say anything, Tang Chuan leaned over and hugged Qi Ning tightly. Honey, you've already slept with me. You have to be responsible for me. Fuck. Qi Ning really didn't know what to say. Wasn't this usually a woman's line? Now that she was like this, she was so embarrassed. You can't abandon me. In the future, I'll serve you well. Tang Chuan deliberately teased her. Then, when she wasn't paying attention, he stole another kiss on her lips. Tang Chuan, you're shameless. Yeah, if being shameless can be so enjoyable, then I'll be shameless every day. Qi Ning, after joking around, Tang Chuan hugged Qi Ning and suddenly felt extremely satisfied. This was a happiness that he had never felt with any woman before. It was as if he had obtained the whole world. Even when he was young with Qi Ning, he didn't feel this sweet. It seemed that Qi Ning was really a very important woman to him. So important that Tang Chuan would protect her for the rest of his life. Do you want to get up and take a shower? Tang Chuan glanced at the bedsheet under Qi Ning. The bright red color was particularly obvious, but made Tang Chuan feel very gratified. A girl as clean as Qi Ning was probably really hard to find in this exaggerated society. There was a joke online that if a man wanted to find a virgin nowadays, he would probably have to go to kindergarten to find one. Tang Chuan didn't have a virgin complex. In fact, to him, even if Qi Ning wasn't a virgin, it didn't matter. After all, she lived in America, where the lifestyle was more open. But now that he realized how pure Qi Ning was, he cherished her even more. He was also silently thanking God for giving him such a precious gift. I'm in a bit of pain. I can't walk. Qi Ning's voice was low and soft, as if she was purposely whining. Hearing her words, Tang Chuan's heart itched. If it weren't for the fact that it was her first time, he really wanted to do it again. Then I'll carry you there. I'll help you wash up. Without waiting for her reply, Tang Chuan lifted her up from the bed and walked towards the bathroom. I don't want to go. Put me down. Qi Ning covered her face in embarrassment. It's okay. We've already slept together. What are you afraid of? Tang Chuan didn't think much of it. After entering the bathtub, he carefully placed Qi Ning in the bathtub and turned on the heating function. It was warm and comfortable. Tang Chuan began to fill the tub with warm water for Qi Ning. The entire process was very gentlemanly. Qi Ning looked at the handsome man in front of her with sweetness in her heart. Tang Chuan, yeah? Are you willing to be with me for the rest of your life? Qi Ning asked seriously. Chapter 3250. Miss Qin, are you proposing to me? Tang Chuan laughed. Stop joking around. I'm asking you, are you willing or not? Qi Ning rolled her eyes at him. Yes, I'm willing to sleep with you for the rest of my life. You pervert. Qi Ning was a little embarrassed by his straightforwardness, so she turned her head away. Tang Chuan filled the tub for her while gently applying the shower gel on her body. The scent of roses filled the air. It was especially romantic. Ning, did you know? I used to think that since my family was so rich, I didn't have a goal in life. It was like I could have anything I wanted. Women are the same. Some want money, some want power, some want to climb up the social ladder, some want to use my family's resources, some want to get married, and some even think that I'm good-looking, but none of them are sincere. Qi Ning and I were young and frivolous. After she hurt me, I didn't dare to fall in love with women anymore. So, Qi Ning tilted her head and smiled at him. So, I thought that I might not be as lucky as Wei Liao and Qin Shu to be with a woman they like. I always thought that once I'm old enough, I'll just listen to my family's arrangements or find someone with a hot body and big breasts to enjoy. until I met you. It seems like I'm quite important to you. What do you mean quite important? I mean very important, okay? After you appeared by my side, I suddenly had a goal in life. Before, it was to eat, drink, and play. What about now? Qi Ning asked with a smile. Now I want to marry you and have children with you. What about after we get married and have children? After a long time, we'll get tired of each other until the 7-year itch. We'll fight, curse, change our minds, and cheat on each other. Qi Ning said, No, those things aren't absolute. What I'm thinking now is that after we get married and have children, the three of us will live a busy but fulfilling life every day. When we're on vacation, I'll take you to fly all over the world. We can go to America and take our children to see the places where you used to live and study. We can also go to Tahiti and see the pink beaches, go to Norway and see the clear lakes and forests, go to Switzerland and see the Alps, go to Finland and see the beautiful aurora, and even go to Mongolia and see the endless grasslands. With you and our children, my life seems to be complete all of a sudden. By then, even eating and drinking will become meaningful. Oh my, our young Master Tang has turned into a scholar. How can he speak so well? None of this comes from the heart. It's not a trick. Yeah, it's okay if it's a trick. I like your hypocrisy, Qi Ning joked. Get lost. Don't talk nonsense. I'm telling you the truth. Tang Chuan patted her snow-white foot lovingly. I know, Master Tang. You have to take good care of yourself when you go back to America. Remember to eat breakfast and don't eat cold food, especially during your period. I know, but I won't be back so long. Maybe I'll be back by the time I'm on my period. No, don't come back during your period. It'll save me the torture of being able to see but not touch. What did you say? Qi Ning's face darkened. Ha ha, I'm joking. Don't be so serious, okay? Tang Chuan snickered. If you don't like me, I'll never come back. Humph. If you don't want to go back, I'll go. It's the same wherever I am, Tang Chuan said nonchalantly. Tang Chuan, your mom is really not likable. Qi Ning suddenly thought of the relationship between family members and frowned slightly. Chapter 32:51. Yeah, I've felt that way since I was a kid. How did your dad stand it all these years? Qi Ning was curious. You don't know. My mom is very nice to my dad. She's as gentle as a lamb in front of my dad. She's just like that to us. Okay, your mom's so scheming. Yeah, if she wasn't scheming, she wouldn't have gotten rid of a bunch of love rivals and become the young mistress of the Tang family. A fight between rich families? Qi Ning was speechless. Yes, so? Are you scared? What should I be scared of? Qi Ning was confused. What if another woman tries to steal me in the future? That's easy. I'll just break your legs. Damn, another woman is seducing me. Shouldn't I break her? Tang Chuan was speechless. It's useless to break them. Even if one dies, there are still thousands of other women. There are so many women in this world, but I can start with you. If I break your legs, no one will want to be with you. After all, you won't be able to do anything. Damn, then you won't be a widow? Tang Chuan wasn't convinced. No. You're thinking too much. I can cheat on you. Tang Chuan was speechless. Qi Ning, you're so ruthless. Tang Chuan was completely speechless. You flatter me. Qi Ning smiled proudly. I'm not convinced by anything, but I'm convinced by you. Women are indeed the most vicious. Women should not only be ruthless to themselves, but even more ruthless to men. Which magazine did you read that from? This one. It's from Qi Ning's quotes. Qi Ning said seriously. Tang Chuan was speechless. The two of them continued to be lovey-dovey. On the other side of town, Su Yu's mansion. Su Yu came back late from dinner with a client. This client was an old one and had a good relationship with Su Yu. The two hadn't seen each other in a long time, so they drank a few more glasses. When Su Yu came back, his head was dizzy and helped her into the living room. You're back? Wearing pajamas, Zheng Ro was watching a TV show on the first floor with a cup of coffee. Yes. Is he drunk? Zheng Ro asked quietly as she watched Su Yu walk unsteadily. Yes. I met a regular customer and drank a lot, and nodded his head, then help him rest for a while. I'll go make him a cup of tea to sober him up. Okay. Thank you, Miss Sung. Suyu always thought Zheng Ro was very scheming, but liked her. Since that time, Zheng Ro had become normal. The three of them lived in the same villa, but they minded their own business. Now that Suyu was drunk, she even took the initiative to make tea for him, and thought that she was a good girl. After making the tea, Zheng Ro handed it to him. You can bring it to him. Why don't you go? I was curious. I'm afraid he'll vomit, even more after seeing my face. Then, Zheng Ro turned around and went upstairs with her phone. She didn't plan to stay for long. Feeling conflicted, and walked over with the hot tea. President Su, have some tea. Okay. Suyu nodded and took the teacup dizzily. President Su, you should go to bed after drinking the tea. It's late. And wait a moment. Okay. What is it? Do you think it's too low of me to give Mion's brother a modified Mustang for his engagement? Suyu tilted his head and asked with the teacup in his hand. Boss, it's worth more than 2 million yuan. How can it be low of you? I really don't know your values. How about I give him a new one? Do you think a Lamborghini, a Porsche, or a Ferrari is better? Do you know what kind of car Jixin likes? Suyu seemed to treat Hua Min's brother's engagement as a big deal. Chapter 3252. President Su, I don't think you need to do this. He's Miss was younger brother. Yeah, but Mion only has one younger brother, Suyu emphasized. But President Su, don't blame me for being blunt. I think President Qin is rich and won't mistreat his brother-in-law. Last time I saw Jixin driving a new Maybach that President Qin bought for him. Oh, you're right. Chu must have bought him everything. What should I give him? Jewelry? Antiques? President Su, didn't Miss Wu say that she won't accept gifts? She's keeping a low profile this time and didn't do it publicly. It's her business whether she accepts or not. It's my business whether I give her gifts or not. Suyu was stubborn. Okay. And didn't say anything because he thought he wouldn't get anything out of arguing with his boss. Suyu had a headache from drinking too much, so he sat on the sofa drinking tea and watching TV, and was so sleepy that he went back to his room to sleep. An hour later, Zheng Ro came downstairs and found Suyu still asleep on the sofa. Suyu, she called. The person on the sofa didn't respond at all. Hey, Suyu, can you hear me? She asked again. Seeing that Suyu didn't respond at all, Zheng Ro dared to walk over. She took out an air-conditioned blanket from the cabinet in the living room and covered Suyu with it carefully. Although it was summer, it was still cold in the middle of the night. Suyu drank too much, so Zheng Ro thought he might catch a cold easily, so she covered him with the blanket. However, when Zheng Ro covered him and was about to leave, Suyu grabbed her hand. To be more precise, he hugged her. Zheng Ro thought Suyu was awake and was about to speak when Suyu said drowsily, Mion. Zheng Ro's body trembled slightly. Sure enough, Suyu's infatuation with Huamin was not a bluff. It seemed that it had really penetrated deep into his bones. She had already given birth to 2 children and was even pregnant, yet he still could not forget her. Me on my ass. Let go of me. Zheng Ro was also angry. Not only did this guy take advantage of her and touch her hand, but he even mistook her for someone else. How embarrassing. Mion, don't go. No matter what Suyu said, Zheng Ro was both angry and amused. She pulled her hand back. Then, she put on her slippers and went upstairs. But now, she was more curious about one thing. Who exactly was this woman, Huamin? She had checked the information before. She looked average in the photo. She was very delicate and pretty, but she could not be said to be a beauty. She was a far cry from many female celebrities and models. Her looks were indeed very plain, and it was said that her family background was also very ordinary, even a little miserable. However, this woman was the reason why the young president of GK doted on her so much. After she got married and had children, she made Suyu fall head over heels in love with her. There were even rumors that Huamin was very vicious and could seduce men because she spent a lot of money to hire a Thai witch doctor. That was why all the men around her were like this. However, Zheng Ro thought that this rumor was ridiculous. How could such excellent men like Su Yu and Qin Shu fall head over heels in love with a woman like this? She was definitely not an ordinary woman. It seemed that Zheng Rou's desire to see Huamin grew even stronger. At first, she was curious about Su Yu's infatuation, but now she suddenly wanted to see how this woman named Huamin was able to receive such love. Midnight at South Hill Manor. As the months went by, Huamin woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom more and more often. She woke up in a daze and was surprised to find that Qin Shu was gone again. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.